everybody. It's Justin Sweet, aka Agent Zero, and I'm here doing another show. Usually it's all by my lonesome, but today I've got a guest, the first guest, and likely not the last. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and bring him in. We've got, is it Rex Christian? Is that your name?
That's me. Yeah.
The
Hey,
Devil Flyer promoter extraordinaire himself.
am I
Rex.
really your first guest on your channel since it's been up and running for what, 2-3 weeks?
Well, the channel's been up and running for over a year, but
Oh, wow.
I've only started doing live streams consistently for the past month or so. But yeah, I mean,
Okay, that's it. All right.
out,
So I'm
outside,
your very first guest.
you're my very first guest outside
I'm
of my
honored.
chat.
I'm
Outside of
truly
my
honored.
chat.
That's awesome, Justin.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I thought that I would kind of drop that on you.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah. For
Well, I'm
real.
just sitting here inking a piece of Bristol. What are you doing?
So what I'm going to be doing is kind
Hey,
of going
Shadowhawk.
through. Let's see.
There's my co-host out in the chat.
There he is. Hail Justin, Chrome Dog. Do it. Back it now before it's too late. Yeah. Might be nice if I threw some links up. I'm not even sure if I have one.
Hell yeah. Promote. Shield. Like you say, it gets tiresome. Shielding sometimes. But
It kind of does.
Yeah.
And I have to say about it, like I feel like I've run out of runway with the first 10 pages
uh-huh.
of the with the Ashcan. So
With the preview. Yeah, that preview Ashcan. Yeah.
exactly. So
And I've dropped the link to that before. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat how you've done that to give people a good look at the book.
Well, that
I believe in trying before you buy.
And I don't know if I told you this, but
Mhm.
the initial idea was to just make it available as an Ashcan, and then
Yeah. Yep. I think you
and
did mention that.
like sell the Ashcan. But
Yeah.
then I thought, we've done all this work, might as well get it. Might as well just go big or go home, right? So
Exactly.
we'll
Exactly.
do
Is that
it
where I got
live.
that expression, go big or go home? I've been using that of late.
That's I don't know. It wasn't me. I got
That and the word epic.
epic.
It's got to be epic,
Everything's got to be epic. So
Well, I mean, it is, you get one chance, as you know, to make a good first impression.
that's true.
Yeah.
You get you just get the one. And that's where I feel like I may have dropped the ball a little bit here and there, is because I'm feeling through the dark as I go, and so to those people who have been very what's the word, very observant in the Indiegogo campaign, they'll notice there's been subtle changes since the first time I launched it, and I've made different changes here and there, improvements I think, and then also kind of like changes to rewards to make things, like, I don't know, to me better. So
Yeah. Well, one idea I had today, and if you want to click just to let how to click it off, right? Once it's up there.
yeah.
If I was thinking, and I'll run this across you, Justin, see what you think. As I was saying, with that one cover, like secret tier, I was thinking the other half of that story is making the secret tier only available of people who back my Ashcan, who are charter members and who have received their charter member card or will receive their charter member card. Is that too exclusive? I think it should be.
Charter member.
If you backed my book, or I comped you and gave you one, and I don't think I've sent you one yet, have I, Justin? Or have
I have not. I have not received said book from you, sir.
Okay, well, I'll have to.
I didn't know that this was a thing. I thought it was...
so that you can become a charter member, and then I will be issuing everybody a charter member fan club, Devil Flyer fan club card.
Okay.
And that entitles you to the rights and
Privileges thereof.
privileges of herein of, and I'm hoping at some point to do like a 3-dimensional, a 3D printed sort of like decoder ring or something.
Yes.
Making
Freak,
comics fun again, And
freaking
so,
A.
but I was thinking about the secret tier to Devil Flyer #1, which probably won't come out till March or April of next year, because I really have put it on the back burner. That people will, maybe the secret tier should be just for charter members who back the Ashcan, which is still up on Indiegogo. What do you think? Or if I've comped you a copy, that makes you a charter member.
I mean,
or is that just too enraging to the public, you think?
well, when you say public, the thing about it,
The back.
no, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I'm learning, and I'm sure you're learning this, is really trying to get people to recognize and know that we exist out here.
Yes.
And so having that exclusivity on the one hand is kind of like, okay, cool, but if no one knows who you are, what,
Right.
why should it matter?
Right.
So maybe,
Well, that's just the secret tier, though.
yeah, no,
But
I
like
hear
a
you.
variant cover,
Right,
a variant color choice.
gotcha.
So it's only one item on the campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. It's something new and different.
Well, I mean, you could say if you sign up and you back,
right.
You could make it like that if you sign up and back. But now if you're a charter member and you back, you're definitely going to have that option. So I already have your email, because I needed that to fulfill with and everything. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think out of the box and do fun things.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. Make comics fun again. I heard somewhere that comics are booming and that, comics should be fun.
They certainly should be.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is a lot of the fun things are added expenses, and comics, as are expensive enough to produce.
I mean, there's things that don't cost that much, I mean, trading cards, bookmarks, there's, little tchotchkes, that don't have to cost an arm and a leg to produce.
True.
But now my next project is going to be a poster, maybe 2 of them, and I might do a vinyl poster. I announced that today. I've been working on that. I'm still pricing that out and getting quotes on that and working with the artists that are going to be doing the images for it.
Well, that could be cool.
Yeah, I hadn't considered a vinyl banner. It's going to be it's not just a poster. It's going to be like 4 foot long by 1.5 feet wide, tall. It's going to be like a banner poster. And one image I want is like my speedster zigzag.
Okay.
And in his wake, it says Momentum behind it, which is my company name, Momentum Comics.
Gotcha.
Momentum Concepts.
Very
cool. Then on the other one, I'm working with Ryan James on Sea Demon. A Sea Demon banner image of him swimming underwater with all the neat stuff that you find underwater.
Speaking of that, I look forward to being able to have a whole a whole universe, revealed to people.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever
of characters that
yeah.
And then when you do that, you can have the return of characters.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm glad you brought that up. So one of the things that that I was talking about the other day is, when you have these characters, like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, we'll say, right?
Right.
And you just like the writer, they develop these characters. They they run stories with them. They do issue after issue after issue, right?
Hmm.
And they just keep going with them, and then the writing gets stale because the writer loses interest, or or whatever, and then but then the character is just not, it's not exciting anymore, and so the title kind of dies off, and then what does the industry do nowadays? They'll sit there and they'll just they'll get somebody else on it, and then they'll start it over at issue number one, and
Right.
it's like, okay, and then we're either going to retell the origin of the story, we're going to retcon the origin of the character, or we're just going to be like, oh yeah, this is a story, here's a story arc that doesn't matter to the overall thing that's going on with the characters.
Yeah, I
And
don't buy into it that it has to be a number one issue to sell.
well, and neither do I. However, it to some people it does work that way,
Yeah.
but for
Well, a lot of
me,
people. If
for
it didn't
me,
work, they
well, but
wouldn't do it.
here's the thing. Uh-oh, what's he saying? Okay, that's an amazing chat glitch. What is? Talk to me, Shadow. What do you mean? um, get to the chopper. I don't know what you mean, Shadow. Um, maybe it's like doing some weird. I don't know. Maybe I sound like Chewbacca now.
Yeah, yeah, that
Um,
was pretty cool. Yeah, back of the throat stuff.
yeah. So, but the thing that I think should have happened, instead of doing all this number one stuff, and
Do a
reading
whole
the
bunch of
character,
zero issues.
no, not even
Oh,
that. No, you just what you do is you sunset them. Okay, you don't kill the character off. You just
right.
you put them in the background, and you bring forth a character from the background to the foreground, and you make runs. I
Hmm.
sent a text a second ago, but it never appeared. Oh, well, I don't know what that's about. It wasn't anything I did. I
It
can,
might be
I
because
can.
of his phone.
Oh, okay. Because I can show everything. We got Hail Justin, then we got Get to the Chopper, and then we got Woohoo, and then we got that, and then we got that. But yeah, my phone did some weird stuff the other day.
Well, one of the stories I like to tell, and maybe you've heard it, Justin, is Adventure Comics ran from late 30s. Along with Detective Comics and Action Comics, it was one of the longest running titles for DC. And yet in 1983, after celebrating its 500th issue, they stopped it. It was an anthology. It could have been anything. They could
Right.
have put their most popular character in it,
Yep.
kind of like to revive the
Yeah.
Avengers. They came
Right.
out with the new
Right.
Avengers,
Right.
and they put Wolverine and
Yep.
Spider Woman and all these interesting characters that had never been.
Yeah.
And now we have even spin-offs of that, like Savage Avengers with Conan
Yeah.
being an Avenger.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and so with that, okay, that's I like how you're talking right there, because you're absolutely right. You got Action Comics, right, which has been a Superman title. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right.
right, action. Yep.
I mean, he was always an Action
Right.
comics, and then Detective Comics has always been a Batman comic.
Right.
So now I know
And
the early
Adventure has
days.
been all over the place.
I know the early days, and throughout its history, I'm pretty sure in Detective Comics there was a character named Manhunter. Not related to Martian Manhunter. For whatever reason, DC has this fascination with the name Manhunter.
Well,
I don't understand it.
I think it's probably, well, I mean, Manhunter goes all the way back to the Golden Age.
Okay, but you
You know.
but you hear what I'm saying though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Manhunter, and then later on they make a huntress. I don't know. There's something about hunting and man, and anyway,
Right.
it just sounds odd to me, because then they do a Martian Manhunter. Like, they could have named him anything else, but they named him Martian Manhunter.
And the Green Lanterns have this whole sect of aliens called Manhunters.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with the Detective Comics, they could have had other detectives show up, right? And with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Action Comics, they could have had other action superheroes show up and be a thing for a while. But they didn't. And so I feel like, especially with what I'm doing with the Ringgold verse, you know, uh, I'm it feels like, yes, Chrome Dog is going to be my launch title, but it
Right.
feels like I need to do a separate title that's going to be completely different art style, probably black and white, and may not even be safe for children. I don't know yet.
Hmm.
Not when I say safe for children, like I don't plan on getting overtly sexual
Like
ever.
maybe
Just gritty,
teen
yeah,
17 or something like
yeah, or yeah.
rating,
I mean, just something. I don't. Okay, well, let me. Okay,
younger
I can't
adult
even.
and
I
above.
can't even. Yeah, yeah. Like Chrome Dog, I want Chrome Dog to be approachable like Ninja Turtles, the
Yeah.
cartoon was. Okay, because I know the
Look
comics
at
were a lot
Starlight
darker.
Cats that came out.
Well, I hadn't. Yeah, I didn't read that.
Well, I
But
didn't either, but it got good reviews. Everybody loved it. Children, adults. I mean,
but like
Shane Davis was a professional
sure.
for DC, and he and a Joe Kubert graduate. I knew he would pull it off.
Yeah,
That he would be able to pull that off and make it interesting to all ages. Not everybody can do that. I'm
true.
not sure I could. I
True.
got to put
Well, and
some
that's
thought
and that's the
behind it.
thing, right? That's my challenge for me to do with Chrome Dog and the people that he encounters. And again, maybe I don't want to go too hard in the paint when it comes to making a mature book. I want to have that freedom to be able to tell
A
darker
mature
story,
theme story.
darker stories
Yeah.
that are even though Chrome Dog is going to have mature themes. It's just not going to be like this. Okay. Like, for example, here's Typhoid. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is a really cool little, it took me a while to actually sit down and read this thing.
Who
I'll be honest.
publishes that?
So this was from, this was Marvel Edge back in 90,
Oh, okay.
95. They put
Yeah.
the credits in the
Back
back.
in the 90s, they had the Edge books. Yeah.
Yeah, this was before Marvel Max or Max Comics. Sorry, that was Marvel's
Yeah.
their adult imprint. So yeah, right here,
Well,
uh,
even the
Volume One.
Ultraverse, or not the Ultraverse, but the thing they did with Marvel where it was a little bit more edgy and gritty. The
Yeah, well, Marvel Knights.
Marvel Knights, but that's one of
But
them
there
I was
was
thinking of.
Max.
But
There was Max Comics, which
was
was
it the
Marvel.
Ultimate Universe? Something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, you had the Ultimates. You had the Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and then the Ultimates instead of calling them the Ultimate Avengers, which I don't really understand why that was a. I don't know why they couldn't do that, but maybe it
But
was a.
all those were edgier. And then they also had Epic Magazine, which was a little bit edgier.
There's your Epic.
There's
Epic.
your Epic. Yeah.
So Ann Nocenti, which I mean she's no slouch. Okay, she did a
Hmm.
really good job, I thought, with Daredevil, several Daredevil runs, and so here is this Typhoid issue. Okay, it is a mature mag. There
Is
are
it Typhoid Mary that was
Yes,
in
was in what?
Daredevil?
So in Daredevil the show or comic?
Daredevil the comic.
Yeah, she was in the periphery of Daredevil. Yes.
Yeah. Because I
Um,
look at her, I think the times that I've seen her, she's come up against Daredevil,
yeah,
Typhoid Mary.
yeah, and then when they did
Yeah.
the TV show, the Netflix stuff, she winds up kind of going up against and with, in a way,
I had forgotten she
Iron.
was on there. Actually, that Netflix show was pretty good.
Yeah, well, she was on Iron. They introduced her in Iron Fist. So
Oh, that's why I missed it, because I
yeah,
never did see that.
yeah,
Or the Defenders.
yeah. I watched every episode of every one of those shows. I even,
Yeah.
as much as it pained me to struggle through the first season of Jessica Jones, I did it. And the reason I
Yeah.
say that is, oh my gosh,
I was going to ask you about that.
David Tennant was so creepy in that show. It was so hard to keep going. Here, let me since I'm getting into the comic book here, I'm gonna.
David Tennant was the 10th and the 15th Doctor this season.
Yeah, that's what I
Doctor
heard,
Who.
or that's
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah,
was.
they're bringing him back for at least 3 episodes.
Stop this.
I don't know how they're going to do that. It's just to draw people in.
I'm learning, folks. All right, so here's this comic. They did this really crazy art style which is kind of what was hard to get me in because it was
Hmm.
um, it's watercolor.
Yeah.
Um,
Slick stock.
I mean, it's yeah,
It's
and I've got
it's different artistically.
my thumb is strategically placed over
Oh,
something that can't be shown on YouTube.
show it. Show it.
But no, I don't want to get this
It's not
video
my
stuck.
channel. You can show
No,
it.
I know, right? Okay, so but this is really good about showing the characteristics and kind of a character study of typhoid. But just to do something darker in a different tone.
Right.
So what I want to do with
Reminds me of Vertigo.
yeah,
They're more adult Vertigo stuff that
yeah,
DC did.
yeah. So with DC, I've got a what you call it? I got a Sandman that I'm actually I think I'm gonna be selling it tomorrow night on my
Do you
whatnot.
like the gritty adult stuff?
No,
You don't. So why do you want
which
to
is
do a
funny, which
gritty?
is funny. So
Yeah.
I want to have the freedom to do it, right? I
Well,
want
yeah.
to have the so if the narrative takes me there, I want to be able to go
Right.
go there as I'm writing it, and I don't
Hmm.
want to I don't want to have to say, okay, well, who is this, should I censor this, should I make this um not so intense and this and that, like, so for example, I'm not a big horror guy, but I do want to write horror. Does that make sense? I don't even know
Right.
if
I
that makes sense.
mean, that's something I did. I didn't really want to write horror, but I wrote some very lightweight horror for my backups. I that's one question I had for you. In this book, have you ever considered doing a smaller backup story with a main story in one book?
um
Maybe with the same character but a different story,
hmm. So
or
Shadowhawks,
two different stories that you want to use.
right?
You
Shadowhawk
know,
says, "Gotta finish making dinner. Have a good night." Hey, you too, Shadow. Thanks for stopping by.
he's having lasagna tonight.
Ooh,
Yeah.
gotta put the pinky up.
Oh yeah, that's high eating.
High eat. I
High
love it.
eating.
High eating.
I
Um,
think that's an animal in Africa.
nice. So before we go too far into, because I'm all about tangents and this show, a
Yeah.
lot of times, like, since I'm used to talking to myself,
Oh
or
God.
talking to the chat, either
Yeah.
one, like, um, I always kind of come with a little bit of an agenda, but so what I'm trying to do is, if anyone has seen it, and I can't remember if you guys showed it or not, but so I've got this campaign that I have put on Fund My Comic, and it's mainly to be a little bit of a proof of concept and to maybe inspire some creators to put their own games on there.
Hmm. Yeah.
And this game is called Superpowered Smash Masters. Um, and I'm not going to play the trailer,
Now
although
this is
I feel
different from
tempted.
Luke's, right? Luke's, or is it? I mean, Luke's
What?
got a game up there, right?
Okay, so this is a card game which I have in my hand. Like,
Right.
I'm going to be kind of like showing it off a little bit in this stream, just a little bit, just so that people can know that it's a real thing. And the main thing is that it's ready to ship. I've got stock that essentially what I've done is I've created this is kind of like a shop front, if you will. And
Cool.
half of the proceeds of every one of these purchases is gonna go towards you know basically backing Chrome Dog. So not only do you get to support me, right, but you also get to have a really fun, light card game that you can share with you can feel comfortable sharing with your
Well,
family.
this is a card game that you developed.
It's nothing that I developed. No, matter of
Oh.
fact, this is right here. This little card. Let me
Hmm.
see if I can. We're doing it live. Okay. So this says, "Thank you, John." So John is so it's Dark Unicorn Games. Let me see if I can. I should probably put like credit them in like their different names and everything in the campaign.
I
Um,
would think so.
but I mean, I give all of the information. So if we go back to, whoops, okay, there we go. So up here on the campaign, there's the creator,
Oh,
right, which
wow.
is me because I
So,
made
so
like
you've already
creator.
launched, you've got it approved.
I launched it. I actually have already have a backer. Frog G backed me
Yeah. There you
for
go.
a day, and I've already sent him out. Like he received them, so he has his he bought the big pack. So he got both the small the little new recruits expansion, and then also the core set. So
I
he went
guess
all
he's
in.
a gamer, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, he backed me, and so, but the thing is,
And got you funded.
right. Well, that's just it, right? This thing, I mean, the basically, if someone were to just buy a core set, it would have funded because the core set set at $30 plus shipping.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and they're ready to ship. But the thing is, Dark Unicorn Games is run by a buddy of mine
Oh.
from my days involved with the Firefly online game
Uh-huh.
that will never be, unfortunately. But we were part of a little community, and his name is John O'Neill. He's got a game company, actual like video game company called Sparkplug Games. So he was part of the development of that game that got canceled, of the Firefly game that got canceled. So this is another thing that he started. He created a board game company called Dark Unicorn Games,
Awesome.
and this is their second title. They have another one called Dice Tower. It's something about like stacking dice or whatever. I don't know how that game works, but
Mhm.
this is definitely one that they really threw a lot of creative weight behind, and made this cute little
So
game.
this is
Video game.
helping your friend out as well as your
Yes,
campaign, huh?
correct. Yeah. It's basically what it is. Is he sent me a bunch of stock, and I'm selling it, and the half the proceeds I hand over to
Wow.
him. The other half I keep and go towards funding
Awesome. Yeah.
creating comics. So
Yeah.
so yeah, but the whole reason it's on Fund My Comic is so that people can look at it, and see that we have more to offer than just comic book funding. So there's different games that can be or different item possibilities on Fund My Comic.
Yeah, that's basically I'm doing character. I still don't want to do character sheets of my characters, but I wanted to come out with a card set.
Okay.
Uh, trading cards. I just said let's make it a separate campaign. So it's not approved yet. I'm still working on it,
Sure.
and I don't have all the artwork for a 52 card set or more.
Oh, so you're talking about like playing cards? You want to do like playing cards with?
I just want to do character cards like you
Oh, okay.
used to get with Marvel and
Yeah.
DC, like from
Yeah.
Skybox, Tops,
Yeah.
Fleer, whatever.
Right.
To show off all the characters because I have a whole universe of characters to show off, and then that way people can get to know their stats and
Yeah.
the characters in a
Exactly.
card set because there are card collectors are different than comic collectors, but often they go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And that was one thing I was thinking that I wanted Fund My Comic to look a little different and have offer a variety of things besides comics. So
Well,
that was kind of my contribution was a card deck that I'm working on.
that's pretty much what we're about. When I
Right.
say we, because I'm a lot of people may not know. maybe I'm letting a little bit too much information.
Flex it, baby. Flex it.
But I'm actually I'm an administrator on Fund My Comic, so I'm part of the people who approve campaigns.
So I know who to suck up to now.
No, it's not like that. But you're funny. So we've got all categories.
Well, thank
So,
you.
I want to
That's right.
highlight. We've got so there's comics, graphic novels, manga, even books, magazines, TTRP. And so you got your tabletop role playing games, which right now I think the only thing we have on here is whatever this David Comic Con is. I don't. That's
Now
that's not a
does
thing
that
yet.
privy you to see what's up and coming, what's not approved yet?
Correct. Which, by the way, like
Okay.
right now, it should not be showing me this stuff.
Oh, okay. That's why I
Um,
asked.
yeah. Hold on.
You probably had to go into it differently.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me.
That's
Because
probably the last thing you looked at up there.
it shouldn't. Maybe, but that's just weird. Like, because if I click on this, it shouldn't show
It's
up.
been a
but
weird day, Justin. It's been a
It,
weird day.
it's been a weird week. What are we talking
Yeah.
about?
Well, I mean, we're only 2 days into it, bro. Less than 2 days.
I keep thinking today's Wednesday. So how
It's
about
only
that?
Tuesday.
Right?
Good thing I asked you for the link. You would have
Oh
sent it
my
to me tomorrow.
gosh. Oh no, I'm just kidding. No,
And then
like
you would have
I've
thought
been.
it was Thursday. Oh my God, I would have never caught up and got on here.
Nice. All right. So anyway, so yeah, so even though I'm not logged in, it shouldn't be showing me these, but it is. These are
Yeah.
all a bunch of campaigns that have yet to be.
Oh yeah, you'll see
fleshed out or
3 up by
anything.
me up there
And
somewhere.
so rather than I don't want
Dox
people to.
everybody.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of that,
Way to go, Justin.
I might as well dox myself in
Oh
a
hell no.
way. In a way, so I'm part of a group where we're doing the Out of Obscurity anthology, and so I've just kind of just thrown up some stuff. There's different works in here. We've got different creative teams. So Hojo is he's contributed a story. I'm not really ready to fully showcase this, but I mean, you get everybody gets a like a sneak peek here. So
Hojo does the mythicals. Is he the
correct.
writer of the mythicals?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's his book. Like he's the creator behind it. And so he's he's the writing talent and
Okay.
then he hires out the art and everything else for it.
I should know because I've interviewed him, but
Well, I mean, hey, I have trouble remembering people's names, so it's all
I
good.
do too. And faces, I can
Yeah.
remember you for 80 years, but a name, I'm lucky if I remember your name.
There we go. That way people don't. It's not so awkward. You're like,
And
my hand.
the invert thing, like I would say, day good.
Day good.
Good day.
Oh.
Inverted.
Okay.
And not that I do that, but I'm saying I'm just using that as an example. I will invert, and I think what it is I'm always thinking ahead, but I say the last word I'm thinking before the first.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's not cool.
Well, no, it's cool.
It's kind of strange.
I mean, it may be strange, but hey, I mean, I don't want to yuck your yum or
right.
whatever
Yeah, yuck your yum.
I don't want to make you feel bad for something.
This is killer looking artwork, Justin.
Yeah, so this is gonna be so
I like
Avery
the color,
Cooper, aka Telepathic Bunny. This is his
wow.
his story. He's the writer here, and then he hired Mark Oliver to do the art.
Ooh, I like Mark's stuff.
Yeah.
From what I can see of it.
Yeah, and so basically, I'm just kind of giving a kind of a snippet.
Is Mark a name I should know?
Maybe, I don't know.
What I mean, has he done any previously, thing that I would know?
That is a great question.
It's a great question that we have no answer to, folks.
Let's check the tweet machine.
Okay.
Let's look him up.
Google it.
Well, no, I get on Twitter, man. I'm like all of it.
Oh yeah, I'm all about Twitter too.
It's not. Let's see, because that's where. Hold on. What the heck? Okay, there it is. Yeah, this is he. Devil Hunters, whoever that is. God of War sketches. These are cool. We're just laying it all out there for folks. Look at that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Is that some more of his artwork?
Oh my gosh, I love the black and white so much better than color. I never thought that I would be so enamored with black and white art, but I am now.
Are you? That's one thing you could offer new on Fund My Comic. Have you thought about just a black and white version of Chrome Dog?
You are hilarious. You are not observant at all, are you?
I'm not, am I? You already have it up there. Gotcha. And I've interviewed you.
Yes. Well, so
okay. All right.
It's
It's a new
hilarious.
day. It's
Hey,
Wednesday.
it is.
No,
It
it's
is.
not.
No,
It's
it's not.
Tuesday.
Right. It's day winds.
It's
Day
passing
twos.
gas. That's the only
Yeah.
wind I know.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
my God.
Well, yeah,
Anyway,
we'll get to that here in a minute. That's fine.
all right. Sorry
So no, you're fine. It's
to
funny.
derail the
It's funny.
conversation.
Hey, tangents, like, but people in the
Well, I
chat
mean,
don't
you
know.
already have the files, right? So sketch versions of your
Yeah,
comic are
of
kind
course.
of a no-brainer, right?
Absolutely.
And it's a lot cheaper to produce, right?
Def-
You're not paying for color.
And it's more, and you can make it more rare, so you can, hypothetically charge just a little more for it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Let's talk after.
Just a little, maybe. I mean, but one thing to say about it,
You didn't hear
is
anything.
right. One thing to say about it is it's not something that people are going to buy by itself. So it's definitely something that's going to bundle with something else.
Hey, baby.
So if they go all in, it's kind of like a tack on sort of thing. It's been my experience. No one took me up on single sales of just the black and white line art edition on Indiegogo, nor have they done it on Fund My Comic. So that's food for thought there.
Uh-huh.
So as long as it's in conjunction with another, cover variant or something like that, they'll eat that up because, especially when they go all in, that's part of the all in, and they're totally there. So just that's kind of something else. All right. So anyway, so this is Ghost Story. It's actually Ghost Rider. And we will say that it is Ghost Rider. What do you mean,
Sure.
hey y'all? Why are you saying hey y'all? Ain't nobody in
So
there.
I can get my wrench. My gosh, I'm your first guest.
Yeah, but I'm not handing out any wrenches.
I'm just saying hey y'all to the chat. I mean,
I'm messing with you.
that's okay.
I'm messing with. Okay, all right. So here we
You're
go.
gonna jump up
Hey,
here so
everybody-
you can get on
everybody
camera
can
and be
see.
the second guest. Are
Everybody
you
can
gonna get up
see.
here?
Look at this.
Jump up.
Look at this. Everybody, this is so cool. It's all meta. Look at that. Look at it. Look, it's just gonna keep going.
It's infinity and beyond.
There,
Jump up.
and then there's another one.
Get up here. We'll go outside. Jump up.
I'm totally gonna break it,
Get up
aren't
here.
I?
Jump up.
All right. So what?
Get up.
Add as moderator like that. Standard. Okay, man. I don't.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 3 dots by my name.
Yeah. No, I did that. So now
Okay.
I go standard moderator versus managing moderators.
Whatever.
Okay. We'll
Yeah.
do the whatever. Okay. So there you go. Now you are a standard moderator.
All
of
right,
my
I'll
channel.
check that just to make
This
sure.
is so funny. We've got like this big parallax going.
Yeah, we do.
It's great.
Oh, I got a wrench now. Yeah. Wow. All right.
You has a wrench. All right.
I has a wrench. Thank
All
you,
right.
Justin. Appreciate that. You're
Yes,
gonna
yes,
jump
sir.
up here.
You're
up
not
there,
only my
Abigail.
first guest, but you're my first wrench. How about that?
That's awesome.
And maybe even the first and only wrench. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see, won't we?
I don't know about only wrench. I'll eventually give wrenches out to
Well,
folks
now
who
at
come
least
and
you
hang
know
out
how.
with me. I do know how. Thank you so much. All right, so getting to my favorite part, which is shilling my own stuff. This is my story contribution, and it's and so well. Actually, let me back up. So, Ghost Story is actually Ghost Rider. I can speak it, but we can't actually like have it in print on here because of copyright and whatever when it comes to
Right.
or a trademark maybe would be the better way to say it, I guess.
Trademark,
a trademark to it.
Mhm.
But this is the original Ghost Rider version. So the original character concept of Ghost Rider from the public domain. Which, by the way, this is the son of Tarzan. I just want to point that out because that's the Out of Obscurity is all about public domain characters being reinvented or reimagined and having new stories told by us upcoming, fresh talent.
Does the son of Tarzan have a name?
Korak.
See, that's okay, I guess, because DC Comics back in the 70s had Korak, son of Tarzan.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. I guess we'll.
Well, it might be public domain.
Yeah,
Maybe
look
a public domain character.
yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
As long as you publish it in
Right.
the UK, you can now Conan the
Mm-hmm.
Barbarian,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you distribute it in Europe, because it's public domain in Europe, not
Yeah,
here in America.
gotcha. So you
But
got to distribute it there, and then
you could sell it to America, sure.
Interesting.
Yep.
So this is my contribution, the Bronze Terror, but
Ooh, I
I've
like the name.
completely imagined him to insert him into my world, and so his name will actually be Thunder Horse in my world.
Wow.
But this is kind
Okay.
of like the handshake. So he's Thunder Horse dot dot the Bronze Terror. So people the media would call him the Bronze Terror, but
Mm-hmm.
he's known as the Bronze Terror, but he goes by Thunder Horse because that's his Indian given name.
Okay. Does he have a horse?
So we'll just have to get there, won't we? Um, but
Like Ghost
so
Rider? Is it
if you
is it a Western?
no,
No.
surprisingly not. However, there will be Western things that can come up. But
Okay.
he's going to be a street level hero.
Okay.
But he also, there. That's the interesting part about Ringgold, the planet that Chrome Dog and now Thunder Horse inhabit, is
Mhm.
that it's broken into these different sectors, and so each sector has its own
Ah, see, that's
cultural
great,
flavor,
man.
as well as like technology level in a way.
That's wonderful. You could have similarities, dissimilarities.
Yeah.
You got a blank slate with every
Well,
city. That's cool.
and not just that, like in the different sectors they travel from sector to sector using trains,
Uh-huh.
and but so
That is so neat.
one of
That
the
is cool.
sectors can feel like the Wild West,
Yeah.
but
Almost like
still,
Westworld.
yeah, but
Yeah.
not, but the technology, like it's not going to be, I mean,
Right.
that level of advanced technology is rare, and would be in basically belong in another sector.
Mhm. Is that a dragonfly up there in the top right?
Here,
Yeah. What is
no,
that?
no, that's a tomahawk. So
Oh, okay. It looked like a
yeah,
dragonfly,
yeah,
maybe,
no,
just sitting there.
no. So what he's doing is, over here in this panel,
Okay.
he's hucking a tomahawk at this guy, and he parries it with his
Right.
katana.
Got it. I see that
And
now.
so here in this next panel, he's is kind of setting up, and he's throwing the other tomahawk, and he's hitting this fire extinguisher, and it's taking out this guy. And then he calls the tomahawks back. He's kind of like, in a way, the tomahawks kind of come back to him like Mjolnir does to
Is
Thor.
he so even though it's stuck in the fire extinguisher, it'll come back to him.
Yeah, he can.
So is he a martial artist?
Yeah, of sorts. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a warrior, as it were. So he's able to kind of move about.
Warriors come out to play.
Kind of, yeah. You know what's funny?
I didn't know if you'd know that
I've yet
reference or not.
no, I've yet to see the movie, but I know the reference.
Okay. All right.
And I wanted to play the Rockstar game that was on. I think it was on PlayStation 2.
Oh
or
yeah.
3. It was. Yeah, I've always wanted to get into that world, and I haven't done it, but I totally get it. So we got the next up. We've got well, okay, I totally blew by that. So not only this is my contribution, but the art is by the McDougals, Kevin and Elijah McDougall. Kevin is the artist. He laid down the really cool black and whites, and then his son Elijah. This is kind of he's a fledgling colorist.
Yeah.
And I think they both did a really good job.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
And I like what I really like about what Elijah does is he, like, the gutters, right? He just is going crazy with it, and I'm totally there for it.
Are you going to print it full bleed
Yeah,
to the edge?
yeah, probably. I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to cut anything off.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean that's
I
kind of
just
the.
thought I'd ask,
But yeah, and and the thing is, each of these stories, I think they range anywhere between 4 to 6 pages each.
Mhm.
So, and mine is a
I,
6 page.
I, that's something in the process that I found out, Justin. I really enjoy writing just the short stories.
Yeah,
Say what get in, put the pertinent information in, leave it
yeah.
on a cliffhanger, and go on, or whatever, or resolve it,
Well, that
whatever
yeah,
you want to do.
yeah, exactly. Like what I'm doing here, and
It's a
this
lot
is
easier than writing like 29-page story like I did the first time, which took me about 8 hours.
I don't really, I can't really agree.
No, you like the long form then?
Well, it's not that. It's
Yeah,
just I've got to have the panels in order to tell the longer story.
yeah.
It's not it's to me it's not getting
Do
the
you storyboard
breadth
it
out.
out like I do, or how do you do a story?
I plot. I just hit beats that I want to cover. So
Hmm.
like so it's like a rough bulleted outline. I would
Okay,
show I
so you
wish
kind of work from that and then make a script.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Or depending, right? So like when I did Chrome Dog issue number 1, it started with um I basically just kind of started the like writing it as a like I got a concept for the first portion of it, but then when I sat down to script that, I just kept going with the script, and in that format I was just rocking and rolling, and then
yeah,
I got to the end and I'm like, okay, this is a good cliffhanger, so I'm done.
yeah,
And then when it came to issue number 2, I'm like, okay, so now what are we going to do? And so at that point, I just plot. I just hit. I'm like, okay, this beat, that beat, this beat, that beat, this beat, that beat. And so I would love to show it on the screen right now, but it would give away too many spoilers
Can I ask a
for what
crazy
happens.
question? You
Sure,
have to draw a little, right? You draw, right?
I'm learning how
Anything
to
at
draw.
all? Okay.
I'm learning how to draw. Let me.
Well, I mean, you could do a storyboard, right? That's the way I
Yeah.
do it. I
So
think very cinematically,
yeah.
the
So
different
here's
camera shots and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, and that's I'm learning to develop that, right? So let's get
You
off of
want an
this is
exclusive? I'll show you how detailed I get
yeah.
with these. I did
Well,
these today if you want to see them.
all right, let me um hold on, let me stop that and then make you bigger.
Okay.
How do we do that?
Mm, right up in my corner here, click
Oh,
on that, and then it'll bring it down, and then
solo.
there we
Gotcha.
go.
Nice.
So an underwater, sea demon
Okay.
and a boat up here.
Okay.
And this is the origin of Sea Demon, True North that I'm writing.
Okay.
The anchor coming down here, and you
Uh-huh.
got Coral flanking him on both sides. He's coming up from the dark to light, so there'll be a fade in, and then that's the splash page, which actually was Shadowhawk had said, well, what if, you want to do this long banner poster? Well, what if you do one image that will be just like that, and then one that could be horizontal? And I was like, or I mean vertical. And I said, whoa, I never even thought about vertical.
Mm,
If somebody wanted to, I had a vertical space, they wanted, so we're kind of adapting, but, and then I thought of the sea demon, that an upward shot in between Coral. I was like,
yeah.
how would I do that with
Right.
sea demon? It would, because my other's a speedster and it needs to kind of go horizontal
Ah,
with the momentum logo behind it. So
gotcha.
unless I've got him running up a building, which I didn't want to do.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
so there's the splash page. And
Okay.
then um, looking through a hole in the coral, you see him swimming by.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the panel to page 2
Gotcha.
after the splash page. Very
Okay.
simple. And then he's going, I'm on my way back up to the surface. He's got a little earpiece,
Hmm.
because I created this character back in the 90s. So this is how detailed you get with jellyfish and
Yeah.
just something quick to convey the ideal to the artist, right? Because I'm not going to be drawing it. And then you cut to the ship, USS whatever. Roger that. See you in a minute. The sexy lady up on top of the boat.
Mm,
with the anchor chain there. So, I mean,
gotcha.
that's it. It doesn't have to be detailed. It just needs to convey the ideal, of the different shots and whatnot.
So this is ultimately
I can't see. I'm still blown up.
right, right. Well,
You'll learn.
I gotta turn my own camera on now.
Oh no.
And
Yeah, you
then
do.
uh, solo layout. There we go. Hey, how about that for a transition?
Hey, that was good.
All right, so here's
Oh,
here's
that's sweet. Yeah.
so this is kind of but here's the thing, I developed a better system than this, but
Hmm.
this is pretty much, and I don't know if these are spoilers, if you can even see what blobs are doing what.
Not really. No,
But
I think you're safe.
yeah, this is page 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so on, right?
So that's panel layout.
All the way to 28. Yeah, this is panel layout, and then just me imagining how things are going to go. Okay, but
Cool.
but
That's and
once I did that,
is
I
that
figured
gridded paper?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's light blue
Okay.
grids.
Gotcha.
So so once I did that one, of course it was horizontal. So I thought, okay, let me see what I can do vertically. And so page one, which is solo, right? So I'm thinking of flipping the book open, right?
Splash page.
So right, well, typically yes.
Yeah.
Me, I don't like me. I like to change it up, right?
Yeah, I do too. Sync
I
multiple panels
Yeah,
or yeah.
I generally like, and what you'll see in Chrome Dog number one, I've got on the first page, you've got an establishing shot as like the first third of the page, right?
Right.
And then you have like a whole bunch of other panels, and then we move on into the story. And then my splash page in there is on page 10, right?
Yeah. I've seen that. I've
Yeah,
seen, especially back in the 90s,
yeah,
like on some of the X-Men books, they'd wait 3, 4, 5 pages
yeah.
into it to give you a full page image.
And so what
And
I've
even
done,
the credits to the comic.
right? In this typhoid, right? There's no credit to the beginning. It's
Yeah.
just this intro page or whatever, and then it goes right into the story, and then the
Mhm.
credits don't actually show up until the end. So it's like
Yeah,
right
that's
at the end.
becoming more prevalent.
But
Yeah.
again, this was in '95. They were doing all kinds of crazy stuff, trying to get people's attention because Image caused such a ruckus. I love it. All right, so so here we've got, what I've done is I've circled all of my page turns, so it keeps me on track, right? And the reason this is important is so that whenever I'm like, okay, now I want to do the double page, I want to do a double page splash,
Right.
I can know, okay, it's got to be
Right.
these two pages
It's
or
not
these
going to
two
be
pages.
front back because you
Right.
got front back there. Right.
This
And then
is
you, yeah.
this is right. So issue number one is that first page.
Hmm.
So
And then 2 and 3
um,
would be together. You could do a splash
let me,
page or
yeah.
a double page there, but you couldn't on
So like
others.
we'll do okay. So like this,
There you
right?
go.
Page one, boom.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then when we go here, we got page two, and then page three. This one should have a page turn, right? Page four, page five should have a page turn, some type of page turn, right?
Hmm.
And then we move on, blah 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 blah. And so that's kind
Don't
of,
you like indie books with no ads?
oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
for me, I don't mind ads. Just push them all to the end, like this,
Oh, okay.
kind of
All
what they
right.
did here.
Okay.
Well, and they've got the fan art and stuff, and then
Right.
and then they
Well,
do
now
all that.
what if it was like an ad for like your card game within Chrome Dog 2?
Well,
You'd still
sure,
put it
but
at the end, you think?
I don't want to break up the narrative.
You don't want to break the narrative up.
That
Yeah.
always, I'm going to be, I'm going to be quite
Yeah. What if you want to
quite
miss a beat on the pacing?
I don't.
You don't. Okay.
Okay, so
Don't
okay,
disrupt
no,
my
that's a
story.
valid, no, it's a valid
Uh-huh.
valid question, right?
Mhm.
So for me, the missing a beat is changing of scene, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll change the scene for a few pages, and then I'll come back, or
Like in the old days, they do chapter 2,
right.
chapter 3. Yeah.
But see, what I'm doing, in Chrome Dog number one is I do have scenes shifting a little bit here and there. right?
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
it does break up that pacing, but I'm also telling more story about other characters and their interactions. So
Mhm.
I'll give you an example. So we've got pages 1 through 10 in the Ashcan, and then on 11, so 11, 12. Let's see, where am I at? Yeah. So 11, 12, and 13, these 3 pages are going completely somewhere else with somebody else. Okay. It's pertinent though, especially if the reader is active and they're
Mhm.
paying attention. They're gonna see and they're gonna be like, oh, what? And then right here on 14, we get back to Chrome Dog and the little girl, right?
Mhm.
And then we follow them for a few pages until I want to say until we get to about here. You know, I, if my memory is right with the script, I can't remember. I think it's 17, and then we're with a different character for a few pages.
So you think you told the story you wanted to tell with Chrome Dog number 1? Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yes,
Everything come out copacetic.
I do. I'm very confident in this
Uh-huh.
story. Um, and I
And
think
it's
a lot,
a good lead in for an issue 2, I guess.
100%.
Yeah.
I stand behind that.
Yeah.
It has a good act one. I mean, everyone sees the act one. you
Well,
know, um,
I'm
you know,
impressed that you were able to score, Aaron Lopresti for a cover. Now, isn't that exclusive only on Fund My Comic now?
it is now.
Uh-huh.
When I launched, all the way up until we went in demand, it was available on Indiegogo. But once we went in demand on Indiegogo, Fund My Comic opened up, and it just seemed natural for me to migrate it over there and close it down on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
So, kind of, get people to come over to Fund My Comic if they want that.
Mhm.
Um, Now, since we're bringing up Fund My Comic, I would be remiss to mention that a reason for folks to join us over on Fund My Comic is it's 3% fees versus the 5% over on Indiegogo.
And
Um,
I actually thought it was higher than 5%.
well, it is if you add everything up because
Oh,
you've
okay.
got so okay, good question, right? So on Indiegogo, I don't know. I'll just talk with my hands. Hello.
That's fine. That's
Um,
good.
let me
Maybe you can get a job with the Muppets.
nice. Um, solid. I love it. So what it is Indiegogo. Well, it actually in both cases you have the fees that the website charges, and then you
Mhm.
have the fees that the card processor charges. Those are separate, and the card processor in both cases is Stripe. Okay, so Stripe is the card processor. They do all the 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 processing of the payments and everything else, and so they have their own fees that are associated with that. So that is
Mhm.
that kind of adds to the total percentage of what gets paid. So full transparency there. Speaking of transparency, hello.
Oh, hey, there you go.
I figure that way
There
I'm
he is.
not having to show my hands the whole time. And generally, I do that whenever because I'm always opening and reading and looking at comic books and you know
Right.
talking to
Yeah.
people in the chat. I'm guessing somebody else is streaming right now. Probably someone more like someone famous.
Well, Tuesdays I take a hit too because Flying Feline and the Topicless crowd and
Yeah.
more are over there with her trivia, and there's
Uh,
always, yeah, there's always someone doing something.
um. But yeah, and so ultimately, you're saving that 2% for coming to Fund My Comic. Plus, um, where you don't have to. There's no like the it's a website for us creators. I mean, there's the gate. If there's any gatekeeping to be had, I think it has to do with your reputation and being able to fulfill when you say you will.
Mhm.
If for some reason you don't fulfill, I think you get a chance maybe,
Right.
but you do get a mark if you don't fulfill within say a year or two or whatever. But beyond that, I would say just you know nothing gratuitous as far as like sex or anything like that, nudity specifically, but
I just
on your
really,
handmaid.
I've got too many stories that I want to tell
Yeah.
to get into that. That's just me. I'm not
Well,
saying
it's
that there's not supposed to be sex appeal.
right. Well, and that okay. Now I'm glad you mentioned that. So
Mhm.
I have characters that have sex appeal, but I don't plan on doing anything with lewds because I don't feel like it's one of those things. It's like people are they're either gonna engage with my material at the narrative level or they're not. I
Mhm.
shouldn't have to entice them in like some backdoor pimp.
Well,
So
I really like your idea of different cities. Actually, World's Greatest Comics, that was back in the 90s
yep,
that Dark Horse did.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
had like Bob Wire,
yeah. I was featuring that.
Monster,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I'm collecting those. I was showing those off
Ghost.
on
Ghost
stream.
is a good one because there's a lot of early Adam Hughes artwork with those, I think. I think, those little dollar tryout comics that they came out with,
Yep,
nice quality.
yep,
They're thinner, but they were cheap.
yep.
And I do think, some of those characters could take off, especially Ghost. Bob Wire did it a little bit.
Well,
She made her
Ghost.
first appearance in that.
Now, Ghost.
So,
Ghost was a chick in white sheets, right?
yeah, something like that with
Yeah, she
guns.
did. Yeah, she totally took off.
Oh,
And
okay.
oh yeah, big time.
Well, I know she's had multiple, comic runs and stuff. And yeah.
Which to me that's a success. But there's Wolf. I've got Wolfgang, which was that's one of the one of those issues. There's X, I think was one.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
what's the other one that's the Pit Bulls.
The Pit Bulls,
Pit
right? And there
Bulls,
was,
yeah.
yeah, War or something, Rastafarian looking dudes. I mean, you could collect the whole set even today for next to nothing.
Well, the Rastafari, that's Wolfgang. That's
Oh,
the yeah, that's
okay,
the
yeah. And
yeah.
and they're I mean, they're all first appearances, so why not? And George Perez even did that super team up group
That's awesome.
that I'm forgetting the name of. So I mean, it had some nice artists on it.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying about that is it seemed like that they kind of like set up like you, Justin, where you had like or Bob Wire had like different cities,
yeah,
within her, or maybe all of those were within the same universe, but it was
they were.
different parts of the
Yeah,
country, world, whatever.
yeah, because they called it was it Comics Greatest World? I think is what they said, or
Yeah, I think that was kind of a riff on World's Greatest Comic
yeah,
with Fantastic Four.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show while we're here talking about these old indies.
Vortex was one of them,
I wanted to
one
show.
of the titles.
I
Oh,
wanted
she.
I
Huh?
wanted to show this off. I had no idea.
Is that Razor?
Okay, yes, and
Some
I had no clue what I got when I got this. Okay,
That's
this
London Nights, right? I mean,
correct,
Razor was London Nights.
correct.
Yeah.
So this is a treat. Okay, and
Uh-huh.
this what I want to do is my wife and I were going on vacation.
It's
This
worth $1 million,
I
folks.
wish
It's worth $1 million.
we I
Chrome
wish
Dog is funded to issue 100
so
and
nice.
any other project he wants to put out.
Um, so my wife and I we're about to go on vacation here at the end of June to
Uh-huh.
out on the East Coast this time, and I think I'm going to try to get her to have us take a stop at Heroes Con on
Mhm.
our way over, which is
Cool.
was it June 16th, 17th, and 18th, something like that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, and I want to get Billy Tucci to sign this sucker.
Hell yeah. Is that
because
a Billy Tucci cover?
the whole comic. I don't know about the
Oh,
cover. Let me see who
is
did the
that
cover.
1990 what?
94,
Oh,
1994.
94. Whoa, that's early Billy Tucci.
But so yeah, I had no idea. Right here it says pencils. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so pencils, page 1 through 18, William Tucci, and then
Wow.
here are the inks. 1 through 12 is Bobby Ray, and then 13 through 18 is Peter Palmiotti, the retro
What?
guy himself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Isn't
And Peter's inking my wraparound cover now.
That's
So,
awesome? Yeah,
yeah, you could maybe, have him get it signed
yeah.
somewhere.
And
Yeah.
so like once I realized that, and I actually sat down to read this thing, I mean, it's a blast. But right here, writer, penciler, and finishes William Tucci.
Wow.
I had no idea that he wrote this story, and introduced. And as far as I understand, according to what it says here at the end, okay, here at the back, it says, 1 year ago, William Tucci came to London Night Studios looking for work. I thought he was too good to be hanging out in the small press area. Why not Malibu or Dark Horse? Poor bastards didn't give him the chance. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if this guy means business. He did. Billy begins to crank out a short story about Razor. Then he calls up and adds his character to the story. She was born that day. The rest is history. I'm like, it's like, what?
So this is one of the first appearances, if not the first appearance. I don't
That's
know.
that's what I mean, from the context there, that's what
Yeah.
I'm getting, man. And so it's kind of like
Maybe. I've
feel like
not seen
trying
that comic, and I've seen a lot of comics.
I feel like cornering him that that day and be like, "Hey,
Oh, he could probably give you the lowdown on it. Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
But I mean,
That
it
that
is
might be before he started his own moniker of Crusade comics.
it wouldn't surprise me.
I think Crusade was
But
out by 95 at least. So this is around the formation of his country of his company. Yeah.
so once I started reading this thing, I was like I was blown away by the
Yeah.
story.
You're reading comic book history, very little known comic book history. But you know what? I bet if he got permission, that might have been in the She Omnibus. I just don't know.
I guess we'll find out, huh?
Well, I don't know because I think the She Omnibus was only the
That's,
She title. So
that's
this
so,
probably wasn't even in there.
this is so intense right here, man. He's
Oh,
like
it's 90
knocking
stuff for
his
sure.
knocking his head off. Like,
Yeah.
it's craziness.
Well, Ethan did the same thing with Cyberfrog. It was very bloody back then
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
over the top,
Yeah.
and so was Dan Fraga's stuff back at that time with Black Flag.
Yeah.
His
Oh
stuff is
yeah.
still over the top.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what they like to do. They like to go, Kabuki or Kabuka or whatever her name is. Yeah,
Kabuki.
I've got some of hers
Kabuki.
from Crusade.
Yeah, Kabuki.
Kabuki, yeah.
Yeah, this is just like a little backup story.
I know. I never saw, as far as I know, London Knights comics back then, but I've since collected some.
Yeah. Yeah, and the only thing that got my attention on this one initially, obviously, was the She, but seeing Razor, because I thought, okay, so Razor, I've got this other Razor comic that doesn't even have Razor in it. It's hilarious. I'll show you. I didn't even know I didn't even know what this was, but I saw the cover and I'm like, well, I got to get it.
Yeah. Just to answer your question a minute ago, at least who I subscribe to, about the only one that's outperforming us is Tug, that umbrella guy.
Yeah.
He's got quite an audience,
Yeah, for sure.
about 461 watchers. They need to come over here to this channel. This is where it's at, folks.
So right here we got number 19, Razor Uncut, right? Well, she's not even in the book. It's a book about Rose and Gunn, who, these other side characters.
That's unusual.
But apparently it is about a villain that Razor encounters.
Is related. Okay.
Right.
That's unusual, though.
It's this chick.
You're using it to sell the comic.
Yeah.
because nothing sells a comic more than a cover.
True. I'm trying to remember. Instead, I saw her.
That's
It's
wild. I
this chick.
love that old independent stuff, Justin. That
Yeah.
is the stuff that I really get, really enjoy over, because I know nothing about the universe. I know nothing about the
Right.
characters. If you've read one Spider-Man,
You've read them all.
you've read them all. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, certainly as a kid, Spider-Man at one time was new to me. Batman, all these characters were new, and Hulk. But after a while, you get to know them, right?
Right.
The independent stuff, you don't know.
That's true.
And I just like that blank slate of going in, what am I going to get? And I don't care if the art is subpar.
There you
Some
go.
of it stinks.
To
And
her.
some of the writing stinks.
Yeah,
But, at least they got their comic out there.
that's true.
And I've
And
got respect for anybody, even if it's trash.
well,
They
and
got it out.
they also take, they seem to be able to take their time, at least,
Yeah.
um
Oh, and that's the great thing about CG, right? Or just crowdfunding. You can
yeah.
take your time.
I mean, so,
Not,
ultimately, I'd love to get, like, I want to get to a place where I don't crowdfund unless it's just for the print run. And that way, it's a pre-order, kind of like how Hojo um did it. Because I mean, he front loaded everything, which looking back on it, I probably should have.
mhm.
Um and then come out whenever I'm like ready to go to
It's a
print.
learning thing, right? I mean,
It is.
I'm going to be better for my second campaign with Devil Flyer #1 because I ran the preview Ashcan. I learned a lot,
Right.
and I gave myself time to think about it.
So yeah, here's all right, so we got before we get to this little gem. That's
I
Billy
don't think
Tucci back in the
do
day.
you remember in Penthouse? Now, you're too young for this, I'm sure,
Hold on
but
now.
in the 80s in
Uh-huh.
Penthouse,
Yeah.
you had the white porcelain, and even in that video that Don Henley did,
Okay.
or was it Don? It was Power Station, right?
Okay.
Where he's got the dancers and they got the porcelain white faces.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of like She, right? Which I know I
Well,
even have a
it's
I even
geisha.
have
It's
a
it's
geisha, right?
Japanese
And
geisha stuff. Yeah.
I even have a character called Sweet Baby. That's a Yakuza assassin who has a porcelain black mask
Yeah.
that she wears.
Sure.
And so it's kind of a trope, right?
I
Because that's
mean,
kind of what we know about the Eastern world.
yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, and he's definitely he's definitely coined it and capitalized on it.
And
That's for sure.
Typhoid Mary was like that. Remember her face?
Yeah. Yeah. Half her face. Sure.
Yeah, half her face, right.
Yeah. She did the
That made her look psycho right there. Like
wow.
she was a little schizophrenic. Wasn't she kind of schizophrenic in her mind?
Yeah. She's got three personalities.
Well, there you go, folks. I was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Typhoid Mary. Yeah.
I
She's
read enough of that in Marvel Comics Presents.
okay. I'm
They
still
had a
collecting.
bunch of Typhoid Mary. It was flip books
Mm-hmm. Yep.
after a while.
Well, that was no, from the beginning.
Yeah, they did have
I've
a
got
few at the
yeah,
beginning.
no,
Yeah.
I've like the very beginning of Marvel Comics Presents, they're all flip books. Um, I've got it was always Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine on
Oh,
the one
Wolverine
side.
again. See,
Yeah, it was on the one side,
put
and
an
then you flipped it over.
A-lister on there.
Yep.
Yeah. Sam Keith
Yep.
did some of that.
Yeah, he did. The
He
covers,
made
and then
Wolverine and Nightcrawler look like no other artist.
tell me about it. I've got all
Yeah.
those covers.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
So I take it you're a big She fan.
no, not
You're not.
necessarily. I'm a Billy Tucci fan.
Okay. All right.
It's not. I mean, I appreciate She,
Yeah.
but I think for me, what I do is I find a creator that motivates me, and I want to collect their stuff. So, like, for example, I've got, I love Pitt, and I love Dale Keown. Okay,
Right.
So maybe
So you're
that's
probably
maybe
going
that's
to
the
get
one
the Pit
exception.
Omnibus.
Not probably. That's an auto buy for me.
Okay, that's an automatic. Okay, all right.
Automatic. I'll
I
just
don't
have to
think I've
tell my
even
wife,
signed up
"Hey,
for it yet.
I'm buying this." Well, yeah, you need to sign up on that because
Oh,
it's
I'm going
there's a
to.
freebie. There's a freebie thing for early
If
signups.
I hadn't had a guest today,
Um,
we were going to kind of go over. I guess we'll do that tomorrow, and I'll
what?
sign up for it
Go
tomorrow.
over? Oh, well,
I'll go over the sign ups, some of the new sign ups on Indiegogo. I do that from time to time
well. Here, I'll throw it in the
to
private
see if
chat,
something
or
new's come up.
I'll throw it in the public chat, as it
There you
were.
go. Throw that link
Get it?
up so I can go
Yeah,
sign up for that
yeah.
right now.
You got like it's you're not there yet. What?
Now that has all 20 issues, right? Even the latter full bleed ones.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
supposed
because
to.
I showed some of those the other day because I've got a lot of the floppies. And I just happened to hit upon a box. I've been showing more collectibles. That's how I started my channel. For the first 4 months, that's all I did was show collectibles.
Yeah, it's all show
And then
and
I
tell.
started having guests on, and I kind of got away from it somewhat. But
Here, I'm gonna do it right. I get so tired of seeing how
I'm so low on collectibles here, folks.
right. Right. Um
I've got about 30,000 comics.
I don't know.
Now, some of those are doubles, triples, quadruples, whatever. They're, but
Am I limited on how many characters I can put in StreamYards?
no, not that I know of.
Oh, it splits it. Ugh, that's awful. Okay.
Well, will it work if I click on it?
No.
It won't.
No, it won't. Well, because the thing is, and that's fine. I'm learning, right? This is all a learning process.
Well, that's the first time I've seen that too.
I'll put so basically, if I hadn't have done all the preliminary stuff,
all
so
the build up, 30th anniversary, blah blah blah. Yeah.
So there's the link, buddy.
Way to hack it up.
Yeah, right. But that should be the full link. Should take you right there. I'm gonna do it again, but
it will as soon as I get back on here. I was watching, but I.
All right, now let me save that so that I can put it in my own stash for promotion.
I think there you were.
What'd you call me? What's up?
I didn't call you anything.
I know. I say stuff like that. I'm like, what'd you call me? Bless you. What?
What would you like to call me?
Okay. That and then save. Yeah, I like to. I've got a Discord that I always use.
Well, who's Whitney Parnell? Do you know?
Whitney Parnell. Yeah,
it says I'd like updates on this campaign from Whitney Parnell and Indiegogo. Oh, so that's who's the campaign's under.
Yeah, that's Patrick and Whitney, Patrick Parnell, the Riot Press. Well,
they're the ones doing the.
They're helping. They're going to be helping, as far as I understand, from what I gleaned from the Pop
all
XP,
21 pit issues.
Yeah,
21.
Yeah. I was listening to the Pop XP interview the other night when Billy Tucci had Dale Keown on, and they were talking about this, and I think they said that Patrick and Whitney were going to be taking care of the fulfillment.
Oh, I doubt that he would want to get into all that. Yeah, but this is going to massive.
Yeah, but he's going to he's according to what was said, he is in Dale Keown will be publishing this on his own, however he does it. So he's doing it.
I'm signed up now. That's all 21 issues, 466 page hardback edition.
And so I've just I gotta show it off. I always show this thing off. I'm so proud of it.
Huh? Is that number one?
So this is pit number one. It's not just any number one.
Huh?
Not just any number one, but it's
Shadowhawk Oh, the
newsstand
newsstand.
edition.
Now, what year is that?
What year?
Yeah. What year did it come out?
January 93.
Okay. So the newsstand edition,
Yeah.
you will like this. Less than 10% of the run.
Yeah, no, I know. But for me, like, I don't even care about the value of it.
The rarity, right.
It's just the fact that I love Pitt, and my buddy happened to have one, and it was it's broke right here. It's
Oh, yeah.
busted.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he sold it to me
Yeah.
for like $15, man.
Oh, freaking hell.
But and I was like,
And you can
I
get
had
that
to.
re-slabbed for nothing,
I'm sure, but I don't
Yeah.
really care about. I mean,
Right.
I've said it before. This will probably be the only slab comic that I own, and
Oh,
how fitting
really?
for it to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. To me, comics are meant to look right here. See what I'm
Oh,
doing?
hell.
See,
You're one of those too.
see what I'm doing? See, I'm just reading it. It's not a big deal. It's
Shadowhawk
whatever.
would agree with you. I was going to give you grief over the slabbing, but now
Yeah,
you've
right.
redeemed.
No, yeah.
Now
no.
you've redeemed yourself. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah,
But
don't do
I will say there's somebody looked up the stats. I need to look it up again, because you can look at the CGC and see just how many.
That's high
of
grade
the
for
different
a
ones.
newsstand.
Exactly. But there's I think there's only a handful that were at a 9.6 and or 9.8.
And if you get it re-slabbed, get it pressed, and that might even up it to a 9.6.
But again, that's if I cared about the
Right.
preservation of it to some type of collector, blah blah blah, because I don't ever want to part with this thing.
Then why don't you crack it open and read it?
I love it because I have two regular issues. I mean, I have two issues that aren't worth anything because, and when I say they're not worth anything because they're not rare like this one. I like the fact that this is rare.
Yeah, but have you looked at the price difference on that, Justin, to see what a direct and a newsstand would be?
Oh, I'm sure there's quite a difference.
Actually, I think the newsstands are suppressed. Now, maybe not on Pit #1, but I think a lot of people don't know how rare some of the newsstands are.
Right. Yeah,
because in
you're right.
1987,
yeah,
it slipped down from 50-50 from 86, 50% newsstand, 50% at your comic book shop,
right,
direct, to around at 38%. And then as you get closer to the late 90s, late 80s and early 90s, it gets to about 10%. As you get closer to 2000, it gets down to 1% of the total print run.
Yeah.
So that's quite rare, compared to because comic shops took over everything fairly quickly within about 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Yeah,
just going through the box I did yesterday. I found a bunch of Gen X's and X Factors and stuff that were newsstand in like near mint shape, bro. That I'd bought when I bought a comic book shop out,
right,
after my fire that burned up my first collection. Everything I have today, except for some of my toys from as a kid. Look at him stroke that thing, folks.
No, I'm feeling.
Look at him just.
No, they did something. They did something special with this.
It's embossed.
No, the white, like you can feel it.
Maybe it's glow in the dark.
Glow in the
Probably
dark.
not. Like those Ghost Riders that are glow in the dark, they're kind of gritty.
Or the
Green Lantern.
No, Superman, when they did the weird Superman blue stuff, actually had a glow in the dark cover of that.
Was it blue and red Superman?
Yeah, but it was the blue and white whenever they.
I didn't know that they did a glow in the dark.
They did a glow in the dark #1, and I wound up trading it off to a guy who definitely appreciates it more than I did.
Yeah,
because I did not like that character design. I'm not a big Superman fan, but when you completely
when I read it, see, I glommed onto that. I liked red and blue. to a
Okay.
certain extent. And I'm trying to collect all those because I
Well,
did read it back in the day and I thought it was pretty good.
yeah.
That's after they killed him, brought him back, and they
So
said we
here,
got to do something different. And
so while we're here in this issue, I wanted to highlight something that I thought was
okay, now
kind of
what are we
clever,
looking at now
kind of
here?
clever. So this is she number 8.
Okay,
I
all
think
right,
this is from the original.
Crusade Comics.
Not really original. It's from '96. So this one's from '97. So yeah, this was like earlier. All right. So, but what they were doing here with the layout is
Mm-hmm.
kind of clever. Um,
Right.
got this little tie. So you got your panel here, and you got this little tie-in
Mm-hmm.
work here
Yeah.
that guides your eye over here,
Right.
and then got a little tie-in. It looks like almost like it's sticky and it's pulled apart.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see that, can you see
Mm-hmm.
it between the panel?
Yeah,
And
I
so
see that. Yeah.
so it's very subtle, but it leads your eye to go to the next panel.
Right.
I think that's amazing. And then you get to this panel, like what?
Well, just looking this stuff over, Justin, you're a writer. You write Chrome Dog and
Yeah.
other things. What about word balloon placement? When do you do that? Or do you leave that in your thumbnails? I mean, do you think about that? You've got to, right?
I'm having to now. Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of the learning process, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I've actually seen word balloons over characters' faces. That's never good.
oh God, no. Well, and that okay.
It's rare, but it has happened.
So a note on that. What
Fan magazine was she. Wow.
what I do
That was kind of like Wizard
Overstreet's
back in the day.
fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
Overstreet, the one that should matter more than Wizard ever did.
Yeah.
Um,
And there was Hero. We were talking about
yes.
word placement.
Yeah. So as far as
Just in case, sweet tangent. Think about it.
just in case, sweet.
If I'm going to distract you and get you off,
No, this is great.
yeah.
I love how fluid the conversation goes.
Mhm.
There's no, to me, there's no reason to stay on track because, I mean,
Right.
who's watching but
Well,
myself?
we were talking about word balloon placement.
Right. So what I was going to get to is
That looks like a foreign magazine you have there
a foreign
on
one.
on top. Guns.
Lacune, I guess Lacune.
Okay, no
But
need
it's,
to cuss me. I
Billy
just
Billy Tucci here
Right.
got Neil
A
Gaiman.
young Billy Tucci.
Yeah.
Billy's my age. He's 57.
So here,
He hadn't already had
for
a
those
birthday.
of you kids out there watching this on the replay, you might recognize this is Spank the Monkey and Shock the Monkey. So that's
Oh wow.
that's Shock the Monkey and Spank the Monkey, produced by the very own
I've never seen that. That's clever.
Randy Zimmerman of Arrow Comics. That's where I got this. He and I we met up with Luke. All three of us
Wow. That's
met
got
up.
to be a rare book.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Low print.
Um,
I think
Compu-
rare and scarce are thrown around too much, but
we got an email here. America Online Lacuna Mag CompuServe with a number.
have you ever seen
I love it.
Have you ever seen Silverline or Greater Mercury Comics?
I've heard of them. Yes.
Tim Vigil did Grips and Faust and other, there were other creators that, anyway, in one of their letters page, it said, look for this comic to come out, right? Which it came out.
Mhm.
The print run is going to be 350 copies. That's rare, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
350 copies in the known universe and out of over 8 billion people.
Yeah. Right.
That's minuscule. And that's why I say, I don't get it, Justin. When John Malin says, yeah, we're going to run 60 days, cut it off. No, no in demand. I don't need that $50,000 because he's probably losing $50,000 every time he does that. Right. at least, and by cutting it off. But he says, I want my stuff to be collectible and rare, and it's like Wreck Planet. If it does 20,000, let's say, or even 25,000, let's be generous.
Okay.
That's still a low print run, dude.
Right.
There ain't nobody in CG doing a big print run. Not even Ethan. by Marvel and DC standards.
Well, I'm looking forward to when us at
so this
at
I want to
Arrow,
make it collectible and limited.
Yeah,
but you want to get it out there, like you said, Justin, to everybody who wants to read it. Everybody that.
Well, and that's just it, right? So you leave the collectability to 1 or 2 variants. That is it, right? That's your collectability.
I've got 3 planned.
Well, I'm just saying, right? But unlike Marvel and DC with 27 variants per issue, and
I know, and Kickstarter and variant,
and you have to choke on all these other issues if you're a comic store and you want to play with the big boys, which I think is just ridiculous. You don't do people.
That's kind of what killed comic stores. I think all the stuff 100%. That Diamond was doing. But that was keeping them afloat, see? And then the pandemic came by, and then they, got into some rough patch.
That's what was keeping them afloat, she.
Yeah. Yeah, she.
Yeah, she. Gotta keep them afloat, she.
Yeah, she.
We're reading the She comic, she.
The She's comic with Billy Tucci. Did you know that Billy Tucci worked for DC Comics and did a Sergeant Rock limited run?
I think I heard about that. Yeah.
On Sergeant Rock, I have a couple of them.
All right, so let's talk about word balloons, shall we?
Billy Tucci, the definitive. Well, maybe not.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen.
I would call that Joe Kubert, probably.
What was the Joe Kubert? What
the definitive Sergeant Rock artist.
Well,
yeah.
Way like I guess that's my weakness is I don't have all of the comic history knowledge.
I don't either. And I know most of it, and I know very little of it. I really shouldn't say most of it. I'm just bragging there.
So we're gonna go.
There's always something new to learn.
Okay.
Do you look at comics as an American art form?
When you say comics, are you saying sequential storytelling, or are you just saying okay?
Yes.
No, it's a worldwide art form. I mean, we've been according to
it had its what we call origins in America, though, kind of like jazz.
I mean, okay.
Now, with that being said, it does not have the reputation that it does in Europe.
True. All right. True.
They would treat you like royalty over there if you went over there. I'm not kidding.
All right. So you were talking about word balloons, right? And their placement.
Right.
Just put a what is it? What's the corporate people say? They say put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. Mm-hmm. All right. So here's I don't know how I'm going to do it side by side.
That's what Jin Saki used to say. We'll circle back to that.
There you go. So here's the first page of Chrome Dog number 1, right?
Mm-hmm. And these do that in black and white.
And these are I can show you black and white. har har har. And this is the revised Ashcan with so this one is the original with Luke Stone's letters and my original script, right?
Okay.
And here's a revised version.
See what you did? You shifted.
More than shifting, I actually I got better. I didn't shift them. The letterer made the choices to put them where they go. And so,
who is your letterer?
So Eric Weathers is now. So these are Eric Weathers letters. So here it says Morning Epsilon City Cerulean Park, right? And here originally it was Morning Epsilon City Cerulean Park Gossamer Bay, and so I felt like I should probably shorten that because Gossamer Bay is like just a little bit too much information. Yeah,
and you know what? The white lettering stands out better.
Well, and again, that's Eric for you.
Yeah, but you know what? Can I brag on you?
Okay.
I like this. Nope. Nope. Yes, I like yours with the little hash marks that make it electronic. And he didn't do that.
What, this down here?
That's Eric's, right?
Yeah. Well, it has a little bit of hash
I
marks
like
in
yours better.
it. When you say yours, it's Luke.
Oh, that's Luke's?
That's
Well,
Luke.
see,
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah. So,
That's just me.
but so I wanted to, well,
Sorry,
thank you.
Eric.
No, well, I at this
I'm gonna
point,
piss off everybody.
I don't
today.
think anyone's gonna get mad. But this is fun.
I'm getting mad.
So look at this. Look at this. It's like boom.
Oh
boom.
yeah, I like the click.
Oh, that's so cool.
It pops
So
more.
yeah, exactly, right. And so here, this here was hard for people to read. This one spot. Plus,
Yeah.
you see how much coverage it has.
Do you think
here.
it was it compressed more?
It was, and
Yeah.
and granted, see this,
Yeah.
it's like it covers even more. And I was
Much
really
bigger, right? But you're not really losing anything essential.
no, but but to me, I feel like I love the I love where that
jaggedness?
light. I love the light that comes down. Like
Oh
you know,
yeah.
to me, I would prefer not to have any letters there, but it's a story. We have to tell the story.
It's
Yeah,
atmospheric.
exactly.
It helps. Yeah.
Well, that's 100% Patrick Gamma, because that as far as I understand, that did not exist in the original, like in the with the pencils. I think he put a light source up there. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we can circle back to that here in a minute. Yeah, exactly. Circle back. All right. So, but as you can see, like it looks like, I mean, the placements pretty much, they were both on the same. And I don't think he had Luke's as a reference. So, I mean, they were both on the same track, right? Let's see. This is cool doing a deep dive here. But so right here,
hey, that's what we do.
the wording. Okay. Here's a great example. You see this? See how this balloon is right here?
Right.
Is covering the stuff behind it.
Yeah.
We at least get to see some of what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and he still has the little electronic dash, just not as prominent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like the visual that Luke. I got to give Luke's props on that. I did like that.
Yeah. No.
And it looked illuminated, where this does not. It just looks pink.
Right.
Yeah. Eric Weather's a hack. Anyway,
he's not.
I wish you would let her one of my books.
Oh, that's what it. Okay.
No.
What I did though here was I reworked the dialogue, made it a little better. And I just I did tweak it just
make it crisper,
just to make
sharpen it up,
flow a little better.
Yeah. Did you shorten it or did you lengthen it in some areas?
I shortened it a lot. Like I wouldn't say a lot, but I shortened it in areas.
Writers do tend to get wordy with their adjectives, don't they?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
I'm bad with adjectives. It's even.
Adjectives are great.
Yeah, but it's too much. But here, like we can see,
hey, go big or go home. That's what you said.
Right. This here, moving this over, we can see his fingers over here on the side, so that
Yep.
So I like that choice versus that. So that was cool.
Yeah. It defines it. You can tell what it is.
Right. And then we've got with Sarah there.
So why did you switch from Luke? Luke was just a placeholder, and you wanted to get Eric on it, or what?
So
it needed something, or
that's a great question. One of the main reasons I did was because Luke has so many other things that he's working on, and so many other responsibilities having with this project specifically, that I wanted to kind of free him from having to do the letters as well.
Yeah.
But I also,
because he only did 10 pages, right?
Correct.
Okay. Only. Now,
Well,
how big is Chrome Dog again? Page count?
32 pages.
32 pages. Wow. So he would have had to do 22 more pages.
Right. Well, plus he would do the layout and the drawing of every. I mean, he's like all
Right.
of.
He's a beast.
He's, having to do all that. But the thing was,
The
honestly,
only thing that could slow that guy down is COVID. Oh, wait.
right. So
What? Too soon?
what happened was Eric he kind of made an announcement that he was looking for work.
Love you, Luke.
And he was looking to
Yeah.
to
And he
get
was open.
more
And who
projects,
doesn't
and he
want
was
Eric
open.
Weathers?
Exactly. I
in the
thought
book?
I
Right.
felt that having him on letters would give just a little bit more cred
Prestige
to my
yeah.
to me being
Right.
a new creator. So I had Lepresti on
Right.
on the variant. I
So
thought
when
that
can
could be said.
is it going to be Chrome Dog? You got Aaron Lepresti. When can we expect the Del Keon Chrome Dog cover? Just asking.
Oh my gosh. One step at a time, my friend.
I know, right? You don't need a second
honestly,
mortgage.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it took John Malin. You better get your name in the hat,
well, and that's
I mean, when
part
this
of it.
omnibus comes out, he's going to be big.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Oh, wait, he already is. Yeah, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, let's just say I wouldn't be opposed to having him work on like, oh man, like right here, the way. So we've got a balloon here. So we have his whispering. We have Sally saying what she says here, and then we have Chrome Dog's word or thought balloon right here, right? Where over here, it's a little different choices were made. I also, if you notice, I expanded out Sally's dialogue because it needed to become a little more clear, a little better.
Right.
And then
I'm a big advocate on giving yourself time and refining your project.
Yeah.
Time is a writer's best asset.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody asked me a good question, or was it today or the other? Oh, I know what it was. It was my roommate that came over. As you know, I was going to come on with you. What day?
Mm-hmm.
What day was it? A couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was Sunday evening, afternoon.
Okay, okay. And he came. Nobody ever comes to my front door. He called before he came over, but I mean, he wanted to go out and have a couple beers. Oh my God, that was a mistake. Had indigestion for hours afterwards.
Yeah,
but that's a separate thing. But he came over and he said, "Well, wouldn't it be better? I mean, why so many characters?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be easier to write just one character, but in a way, you got other characters to. If you have a Superman, you got to have Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White. You got Lana Lang. You got to have all these characters as sub characters, even if they're not, Or is your hero the only person in the universe, in your world? You got to have other characters. So you might as well, but it was a good question, a valid question. I'm developing them all, or trying to at the same time. Just different varying degrees. And yeah, that's where short stories come in. And then, like you say, I see what you're doing there. I mean, it, especially with the sound effects, which play a big visual part, it really was a step up. But also dialogue. But I did like Luke's, though. I did like the electronic stuff you did because it's more visual.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and the
pink. I would have went with more of a magenta. Pink kind of throws me on.
Well, the thing is, I mean, that's.
I'm being brutally honest.
Well, no, it's perfectly fine. Like I'm.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Sally she's on board, and we've got, we have to draw that distinction, because there's actually three voices that go on
Oh yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
what in Chrome Dog's in
Chrome
his
Dog schizophrenic confirmed.
he is not.
Oh, okay.
He's very much in control of his own thoughts.
Wait,
And
wait, wait. I'm tweeting that out
what's hilarious
right now.
is Sally. Sally she's kind of bumfuzzled, because she
Ah,
thinks that Chrome Dog is a machine like her, right? And
uh-huh, uh-huh.
never mind that he's a human consciousness, and and his thoughts aren't privy to her, so she can't she can't know what he thinks. Um, so,
I,
and that's part of her aggravation, because she's like, she has no idea what he's thinking. And yet he has full access to whatever she like. Well, not full access. He doesn't know what she's thinking either, right? Because they're, you know, by her own interpretation, their computer languages don't they conflict with each other. So that's what she chalks it up to that, right?
uh-huh.
But what she doesn't understand is that his consciousness inhabits this body that was specifically designed for a human consciousness to live in. And she's just a ride along on an internal drive. Both of them are accidents.
Well, as you know, you have a main story and you have a sub
Yep.
story. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to,
No. Well,
but
you kind of do. You always got to have subplots, and I've got
right. Yeah, I mean,
I have a
subplots help
lot
you
of
develop things,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Faster.
I have a lot of subplots going on here, because we got this guy.
Yeah.
This
He's a
is
great looking character, by the way.
yeah. He's
Very kingpinish.
he gives off Kingpin vibes right here for sure.
Yep.
But he's definitely got an interesting story.
Right.
But yeah, so the third voice is the system. So the actual the body itself, the shell or sleeve, however you want to look at it in a cyberpunk way, that Chrome Dog is what he is.
Are you trying to vibe on that?
It has its own voice. So it talks about it and says, "Hey, I've got."
Well, I'm not really getting a cyberpunk vibe though.
Right.
From Chrome Dog,
Which is fine.
or is it? No. I'm getting it. No, I do get it. I'm thinking
What are you trying to say?
Steampunk.
Oh yeah, no, not yeah,
Not
definitely
steampunk.
definitely no steampunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
cyberpunk.
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cyberpunk. He, with the whole human
Cyberpunk.
consciousness in a robot body, if you will.
I'm copywriting that name right now. Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk. Yeah,
as a character, huh? And then his moniker could be Punk It Up.
Oh my gosh.
Huh? No?
Cyberpunk as a character?
Punk It Up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, maybe not.
No.
Think about it. Just live with it a little while.
No, thank you.
Okay.
You can let it marinate in your own juices if you like.
Okay.
Just don't forget to drink your prune juice.
Right. Oh, you ageist. Oh, I heard that.
Hey, I'm getting old too. I've got grandbabies, so remember.
Have you got gray hair yet? Oh, wait a minute.
I'm bald. What are we talking about? You're always talking about me being bald.
I got nothing.
Oh, anyway. So we've got, so we have this other voice of the machine, and so I'm trying to, so we've got Chrome Dog talking. He's normal. System. He's speaking, and then these are his thoughts here. Yeah. So he has his own thoughts.
Uh-huh.
And then there's Sally. She has what she says, and then there's the system that's independent of Sally. But as we can see, Sally is not. She hasn't said anything because Chrome Dog has put her on, put her in the penalty.
This is Luke Stone artwork, right? I mean,
yeah.
He might actually go somewhere. This is looking pretty good.
I know he will. That's what we're banking on.
He's coming out of left field, man.
Well, and that's that's part of it too. And this is to all of you catching this on the replay for sure.
Which is going to be most
You
of you.
you
Okay.
right you indie creators, burgeoning indie creatives, especially if you're a writer and you hire an artist. I would caution you to be a little loosey goosey and let the artist like flow with what they think looks cool.
Yeah.
Because the more constraints you place on the artist, one, the less likely they are gonna be to work with you.
Right. I mean, look at Luke
But
Stone's lettering better than Eric Weathers. Confirmed.
you're such a jerk. Oh, I'm not commenting at all about the lettering.
Okay. I love you, Eric. I really
They
do.
both did a fine job with what they
He
did.
did do a fine job.
It works in both ways. It's fine.
Oh yeah, and
But-
I like this thud, this chick, this kachak. All the sound effects look much better. Much better.
This thud is the same because
You
it
can tell
was
Eric
drawn
has
in.
a lot of experience lettering.
Yeah, it was drawn in. So this
Yeah,
is
so it's amazing that Luke's just kind of outshone him there a little bit on, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
Okay,
think,
all right. I didn't drive it into the
Totally
ground. As long as you're happy, you're the client.
But that and ultimately it kind of comes down to where I like to look at creating a comic as especially when it comes down to the writer and the artist, kind of like a dance. You've got even though you're leading, just don't step on your partner's feet. You need to give them room to express themselves. Let them fly with the stuff because
right. Have fun.
Let them have fun.
It's not going to be. How good is the final product going to be if it's a drudgery and a chore and work to them?
Exactly, and we wonder why modern comics are no fun. It's because everyone's like, "Oh,
do you think Aaron Lopresti had fun with your characters drawing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that he did. I think the one thing that he didn't have fun with was here. I'm going to stop sharing for the moment.
Coloring, atmosphere.
Yeah, no, it was coloring, especially the chrome.
Yeah, I mean, it's not every artist that can do metallic surfaces really well. I showed you that Devil Flyer helmet. And I don't know if you caught that, but it really looked metallic. That's what
Yeah,
not everybody that can do that. I don't do it well.
It looks fantastic, actually. Look great. I think these are high res. I hope they are because I want to show it off. Photos. Bear with me here. Get this sucker.
Well, I'm not showing that just to anybody.
Ugh, that's awful. Okay.
Yeah.
I want. Ugh. All right, come on. Where are you at?
I'm right here. I've been right here for like 2 hours. Why are you asking me that?
I'm talking about you, clown.
Oh, okay. I was the class clown. I hope you know that.
Speaking of clown.
Oh, here it comes, folks. I better brace myself.
Well, no, there's a villain that's. Oh, here we go.
Oh, I have a serial killer clown.
Found it. He's not a serial killer. He's actually a mob boss. But
that's sweet. That's almost like I've got a mob boss too. Yeah.
every time Justin says something, a Rex character gets a birth.
No, but I really do. That's the great thing about an anthology. You get,
That's funny.
Yeah, because when I conferred with Doc on Grave Tales, that has the serial killing clown, he said, "Do you have any serial killing characters?" And I said, "Yeah, I got one," and it was a clown. And oh man, the coloring job on that's going to blow people away. I hope.
That's some what was it? Ed Gein? Was that
Ed Gein? Yeah, that's out right now. Yeah,
no, but was it Ed Gein that was the clown? Or
no, that was Gacy.
Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we are. So here you wanted the black and white line art. So here it is.
Yeah, I was
So
being
this is
facetious. Yeah.
were you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now,
well.
see, I like how you broke up the gutters here with the artwork up top and everything.
When you say I broke them up, this is all Luke.
Well, I mean, Luke. I forget.
Um, yeah. So one little detail that those stubborn word balloons might
Mhm.
cover is over here on this shelf.
Oh, the
He
little Easter egg collectibles.
yeah, he collects things
Yeah, that's
from
cool.
that he finds around like a
Like maybe left toys by kids at the amusement park.
no, actually these are toys from a potentially bygone time period that eventually kind of like worked their way up through the sand on the shoreline
Oh, okay.
from ages past.
Looked like we had a transformer there.
Yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it? It's
Yeah,
cool.
kind of looked like Optimus Prime, maybe.
But yeah, so like I was saying with Patrick Gamma, like he put a light source up here and then it just shone down
Mm-hmm.
and just made this thing
Is
pop.
that his refrigerator and radio there in front of him?
It's a speaker.
A
It's like
speaker. Oh, okay.
it's
Okay.
like a big a gigantic speaker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um looks like, which it all fits because he's kind of cobbled together this apartment space that's
Right.
that's in a like a sub it's like a maintenance shelter there on on the grounds of Cerulean Park. So yeah, we get, and then here's the black and white. Yep, there's the popcorn behind her.
Yeah, and I saw the popcorn and the spilled popcorn in the foreground.
Yeah. See, and that's that was a detail that I'm so another thing I want to say to you folks out there looking to create a comic book,
Yeah.
be sure to kind of like make sure your colorists, one, if something's important, make sure it's in your script and make sure that everybody on your team reads your script, including the colorist. If you have certain call outs to colors and it's very specific and you want attention to be called to it, be sure to add that to your little descriptive blurb for, either setting the scene for the page or setting a scene for
Right.
the panel, because
In my whole process, it's been colorists that have coloring things that have given me the most
oh
trouble.
man, oh man, I'm so tempted to show you guys what Chrome Dog could have looked like. Do you want to see it?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this will be so fun. Oh, okay. All right. It's
I'm finally glad that we nailed down Devil Flyers colors.
well, how did
Because
we I mean, all you did was ask you said you asked another person. What I mean, and was I the deciding vote?
no,
Okay.
no. I was just seeing what your favorites
Okay.
were,
All right. So
but his costume didn't change on that. The original costume's like gray, blue, ultramarine blue, totally different color scheme and his wings were green with Eldritch energy. None of this stuff you saw on that cover.
okay.
And I think people like this most. It's like I'm not going to pigeonhole myself with what we first visualized. I'm going to do something different, more on spot. And I think it'll be received better. So, and I don't think John will matter on that. I think he'll like the result once he sees Dillard's cover and other artists using that color scheme. But yeah, hey, Immortal Rising in the house. We still
What
need to get
is
together and set up a time. I meant
Aaron?
to text you today.
Welcome in, Aaron. You're just in time to join the party and watch the fun and frivolity continue as we go into hour number 3.
Well, I'm showing only 2. Where are you getting 3 at?
Well, once we cross that 2-hour line, we're going towards 3. Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
radio speak, bro.
They don't count to you. Oh, whatever.
I wanted to be a DJ.
Yeah, he was going. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
He was wanting to show us what Chrome Dog could have looked like in a what if situation.
Yeah.
On the coloring.
These are colors that I actually paid for them, but we're not using them, and I'm not revealing who did them.
Oh, he's waiting to go on Meth Gator's show. I'm not even sure I'm subscribed to Meth Gator.
Well, I'm really glad that you've decided to stop over here and
and
take a drink.
Stop.
Yeah, or
oh well, we'll take what we can get. Hit that like button
and subscribe if you're not already.
No
Share
doubt.
It out, please.
Have mercy. We need.
By the way, Aaron, if you have any connections over there in Iron Age, please help me get on somewhere. I'm trying to break through.
Wow, that was real fluid for a writer. You didn't think
writers. Okay, but like public speaking, I'm still working on it. Okay, it's a work in progress. What can I say?
Oh, trust me. I know what you're saying. When you get in front of one of these things, you think it up here, but it doesn't always come out the way you thought it.
Well, I'm also thinking while I'm clicking and trying to remember where I put things and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, I'm his first guest.
Yeah, first and potentially only guest.
And last, yeah, I think I killed it. I think it's.
Oh, you didn't.
I just will throw up a gang sign and order a hit on myself because I ain't coming back from this. I don't think.
No, stop.
You'll never have me on again. Oh, God.
Pages, nope. Where did I put the stupid thing? Oh, obsolete, maybe.
Blew that.
Yes. Okay.
Devil Flyer #1 is never going to get approved. Damn it. We know who's got pool around here. He's magnetic. Yeah, there he is. Oh, wait a minute. Everything's opposite. There we go.
Let me see.
What would the Chrome look like if it was like pink?
Saw you streaming. Wanted to say hi. Seeing Rex was a nice surprise. Well, aw. DM me and we'll figure it out. That's what he says.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I meant to do that earlier today and just got busy. I had a conference with Ryan.
So here's let me
the show and this and my dog, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's on my short list to do. But yeah, we'll have to set that up.
Let me turn that down. And we'll go over here.
Present. You're making fun of my southernness.
No, I'm doing it. Okay, so here we go, right?
Ageist and a southernness confirmed.
So here we go. No, not confirmed at all. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
So here's one pass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is what Chrome Dog could have looked like with this colorist.
Potentially.
Potentially that will remain unnamed.
Now it looks like there was a light source put up top. Mm-hmm. It did kind of shine down.
Right. Little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Now this is some like super saturated fun stuff. Oh, this is somebody else. Yeah, this is somebody else.
Yeah.
So this was another colorist.
Yeah.
That here we go. He says ageist and southernist LOL. That's what said. Nice.
Well, he hit me up with the AIDS thing earlier.
I didn't say AIDS. What are you talking about?
Age.
Oh, age. I was like age.
Ages, not age. No, I don't have age.
So,
thank you.
So here's the thing. Like, so yeah.
Were you really considering like the blue and the orange?
What do you mean considering? That's what the heck he is now. If you remember, it's because he's putting on his costume right here, right? So he's putting on these pieces.
Oh, so the blue is
ageist.
Okay, well, you should do it in black and white. But
Black and white. Smart ass. I'll turn it in. I'll turn all my comics into coloring books. That way they'll always be for youngins.
There you go. Now I can have my pink
But-
version of Chrome Dog.
So so here we have this one color version that almost made it, but what ended up happening is this kind of sort of became the park employee uniform.
See you, Immortal. I'll DM you.
Say
you gotta go.
Bye. Thanks for dropping by.
Don't let it kick in. Anyway.
Congrats on your book, man.
But if you went with the orange,
yeah. Well, I did. I mean,
well,
ultimately,
you did go with the orange.
Yeah, ultimately, we went with the orange. It's
his suit
right.
over his chrome.
Correct.
Right.
So, and that was why I ultimately decided to keep the orange.
Yeah.
Because this was not enough of a contrast.
Yeah.
So here's again. I know it's flip flopping between the two colorist visions, but so here's the other one. And
well, if you want a lot of contrast, then you go opposite the color wheel.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so here's the one.
So I don't know where chrome fits in there.
What you mean?
Well, I mean, chrome is like a metallic. I mean, it's almost like you're contrasting it against white in a way.
Yeah.
Except it's not. It's more of like a gray, silver.
Yeah. So here's here was
I think it was the right call.
Yeah.
And you had red highlights.
Right.
Like the boots and on the epaulets.
Well, you say had. I mean, that's again that we went back to this color scheme for the final.
Oh, my bad. Man, I guess I need to invest in some Chrome Dog. Then I would know. Who do you think you have on? Dillard, the expert?
Oh boy, this was fun.
There you go. Now I know that stuff plushie is going to be a different color, right?
We were going back and forth on this one because I was in the script. I called out that it was supposed to be yellow in the background, right? It not
and there's no yellow,
not matrixy. Not I mean this
that is matrix.
I was saying that it could be this or that or whatever, and so it was yeah.
Would you say that the worst trouble you've had in this process has been with color as well, colorist?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, a good colorist is worth their weight in gold, in my opinion.
But I think the big hang up for these guys is trying to conceptualize a world that has a sky that is of a lavender color rather than blue.
Yeah.
And when I say these guys, I mean even Luke, because to me, like having a lavender sky, I mean, far be it from me to say, but we have a blue sky now, and I don't see the sky color changing the color of anything that's on our planet. But
you're not on Earth,
right?
This is an alien planet.
Exactly. Plus, the sun here is not yellow, right?
Right.
The sun is at best white, if not a pale blue.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is, because the sky was is considered this lavender color, the only frame of reference we have on this planet is sunset or sunrise, but typically mostly sunset. And so all the colors had to come from some sunset palette and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, well, as we go along, maybe I'll just say, okay, well, screw it. It's an anomaly that happens sometimes, and the sky does change when you've got the two moons in alignment, because there are two moons around, that orbit.
Yeah,
Ringgold.
I was going to say, you could have more than one sun. You could have more than one moon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in Ringgold, if it's, it orbits, the star. If you look up at in the sky, in our sky,
right,
and you see Orion's belt, the leftmost star of Orion's belt is called Alnitak, or on attack, if you will. And that's where Ringgold is. It orbits that star, and so you can actually say, "Hey, there's Ringgolds out there somewhere."
Yeah, bringing it into our universe somewhere.
Yeah, hold on just a second. It's funny. I got work stuff kind of hitting me up. It's funny.
In the man. In the man, you the man.
Yeah, kind of. My day job, as it were.
Yeah.
Invading all my fun.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk about
Okay.
is that I've started drawing.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, I asked you about that earlier.
Let me find where am I at? There we go.
I'm doing something really hard. I'm inking a piece black.
Oh, okay.
Something very, laborious, but it has to be done if I want to do something like that, where it's like chalkboard,
So I got me a light table.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell yeah. By God. God darn right.
Did you get a good price?
Yeah, it was reasonably priced.
Yeah. God gave you a good,
It was only less than, it's like
good
$17
price
shipped.
Yeah.
No
I
frill.
need a larger one. Mine's very small.
This one is, I think A4. So however that works out to be. I just want to show this off if I can find.
You going to show your light table?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll blind everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Blinding me with science.
Blinded.
Uh-oh.
Science.
Well, I'm running. Okay.
Blinded me with science. Woo, woo, woo.
Okay, let me.
You blinded me. Mama.
For a sec here. I've run out of USB, so bear with me. I got a battery.
Technical issues, folks.
Yeah, I got a battery.
Yabba dabba doo.
It's kind of cool to be able to plug in a battery.
Try hamster wheel. Hamster wheel batteries.
Okay, how about that? All right, now let's go with the big thing in the present. Oh, and I also wanted to show off
I forget what part of the country you're in. So what are you on Central Time or are you on Eastern? What?
Central.
You're on Central. Okay,
yeah.
So that's good for you and me because we're both on Central. Yeah.
I'm in Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. You're in mid Tennessee. Gotcha.
Yeah, middle Tennessee.
Somewhere under Nashville.
Okay, so now we're gonna go start cam. There we are. Okay.
What do you think about that Nashville bombing a few months ago?
Months? What?
Wasn't it months ago?
There wasn't a bombing. There was a shooting.
No, there was a bombing. Did you not hear about the bombing? Took out right in front of that AT&T place.
That wasn't months ago. That was years ago. That was on Christmas Day, year before last.
Has it been that long? Are you kidding?
Yes. Okay. No, I'm not, I wouldn't.
You would know.
I wouldn't shit you. You're my favorite turd.
Okay. Wow. Well, bring that up again. We'll vote on it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, cool. So I wanted to show. So that's my light table, but I wanted to show this because I'm insanely, I guess, proud to know that I can
take the pride off.
I can still draw. All right. So here, Luke had thrown down the gauntlet as far as getting us creators to do a Fund My Comic logo book, holding it. And
Yeah.
so I think this is Pedro Ang's character holding a
So
book.
how did you do that? Because I still have to do mine
So what I
to get you
decided
to
to
fund
do,
my comic.
yeah, what I decided to do
Mm-hmm.
was this was my initial sketch
Right.
where let me go big with this thing.
Go big or go home.
How do I?
I'm gonna have to let Abby out.
Oh,
She's
okay.
dying over here, I think.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
All right.
I can.
I'll watch it on replay.
I'll know. I'll show you in a minute.
Okay. All right.
Chances are people have seen it before. Before. Um. So let me see. All right. So earlier we were talking about. I was talking about this the Smash Masters game. Um, and these are just some of the heroes. I made a little deck, little fun little deck with. So you got the A list heroes, you got your B list heroes, and then there's a C list and a D list, of course, right? And so you've got Dark Unicorn. I got him paired up with his sidekick Night Pony. Apparently, it's kind of like the analogous to Batman and Robin, but so Dark Unicorn has pony power. Says, have you heard about my sidekick? Dark Unicorn summons his loyal sidekick Night Pony from the character stack. So even if she gets knocked out or whatever, like he can summon her back. So it's kind of fun. They're also gadget heroes. So every hero has a type. So these are gadget heroes. That's a nature hero. These are magic heroes. Shoot, I might as well just like start cracking open stuff. I don't know what I did with it. I had a big stack of cards. Yeah, I'm all over the place tonight, folks. Which, I mean, if you've been around my show, you'll know that I'm around. I'm all over the place all the time. Tangent City. Maybe I should just name it Tangent City. So here we go. We got so we've got some A list, B list, and D list heroes. I decided to make all of these mutants just to see what that would do, because they, if I remember correctly, they can they kind of like help each other out as mutants. Different mutants help out other mutants and stuff. Or I don't remember why I built the deck this way. Also, to keep in mind, when you get Smash Masters, they pretty much come in already already ready to play decks. So you don't even have to do any deck building. You can just pretty much you can just kind of like shuffle them up and go. So yeah. So I put them all in sleeves, and I do 2 different color sleeves. So I've got this is my deck. And then these are the characters. So I sleeve them in different colors, coordinating colors in a way. Of course, looking at Dark Unicorn, I probably should have used the purple on him, but it is what it is. This is my little mutant deck, and then these are those. If you were to buy both the and I don't know if it's on the campaign, but on the campaign page, but if you were to buy this is the core set and the new recruit set, you could hypothetically play up to 6 players, because core set you can play up to 4, and then with the new recruits that adds another 2 players. Plus, once you do all of them, that is, you've got 24 heroes in the one, and then how many heroes do we get here? 12 heroes. So that's a total of 36 heroes. And, considering each deck has 6 heroes, 6 times 6, quick math. So yeah, here's the stack for all the heroes, and each hero comes with its own super card. And so I've separated them based on what they are and their super. What they do. There's Zebro. As I'm looking at this, I might want to make a deck that's got like, I don't know, horse themes or something. Cool man, not cool man. Cool Man doesn't use his powers on active rivals who can defend themselves because, as he puts it, germs. Nice. Gain a free smash against any stunned rival. Oh, that's cool. So he lost his cool. Cool Man lost his cool. Gila Dancer. Gila Dancer. Gotcha. That's funny. Pink Dolphin. Okay. Sand Sheriff. Oh boy. Seagull. Okay. Spin a smash card to revive a stunned teammate of your choice. Yeah, so here we go. So we got magic types, magic, mutant, nature, and then gadget. Nature, yeah. Okay, so it's, I guess there's just the 4 types. Yeah, I think that's 4. Because we got magic, nature, that's 2. Mutant is 3. Gadget, yeah, it's 4. Okay. So anyway, that's kind of cool. And so I left these pretty much like ready to go. So these are just specific, like there's story cards, and then you have the different team ups, the different smash cards that are required for each deck. So I've built 2 decks, but I have enough to be able to, build the other 4 in a more random fashion. I can't remember what my thought process was on these. And sometime soon, maybe we'll do like a run through the game or something, assuming folks find that interesting. I don't know, but yeah. And as I've said before, each one of these you back, you can goes to help fund Chrome Dog, among other things. Once we reach a certain threshold there, it'll go forward to fund Chrome Dog issue number 2 or whatnot. So, but yeah, great little game. I love it. It's a lot of fun. And all right, let me put my cards up. I gotta figure out what I did with those blue ones. Oh, I stuck them up there. Gotcha. So yeah, tomorrow night I'm gonna be on Whatnot, which I don't know if you've heard of Whatnot, but it is a live stream auction app that you can download on your phone. And you can also run it, get it on desktop, and participate. But generally, as an auctioneer, you pretty much have to use it on phones. You have to, in order to get all the functionality, you have to have the app and run it that way. So, but yeah, I'm probably gonna be ending the stream here soon. Once Rex gets back, I'll show him what I need to show him, and then we'll probably just call it a night. Certainly have enjoyed this time. This time with you. Hello.
I'm back.
Cool. Well, I was kind of going over the Smash Masters cards.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You're going to go over your light box.
Yeah, I was, and then we're probably gonna have to call it a night.
Wrap it up. Yeah, I got it to get over on Topicless at some point.
Oh no! All right,
but they hadn't sent me the link. I'm not late.
Okay.
They talked for a bit, before.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So yeah, here's my light box. Blah blah blah.
I'm blind. I can't see.
All right. So the idea is to take your OC or your original character, and you have them read the book. And right. So
it's always got to be a part of it.
I took that as a personal challenge to come out of my comfort zone and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to start drawing. So looking at different references, I started kind of, drawing Chrome Dog stuff.
But see, I need the
And
FMC printed out.
well, now that's the thing, right? In that initial post, if you go to Fund My Comic, it's going to be in one of the posts. Luke provides that image in one of his posts, so that way you can have it and then size it or whatever. So I chose to, rather than print it out and then draw around it, I chose to just copy it down and then make the thing. So that's so these are my pencils, and then I wound up inking it. So I just did the whole. So yeah, this is my first like real inked thing as a as an indie comic creator. Like,
there you go. Now I can see that up for auction at some point. Right?
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean,
I can definitely tell that my pencils are way better than my inking abilities, but it's not bad for a first try. And I used my lovely
light box.
Yeah, and can't really call it I feel funny calling it a box because it's really a light table.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's what I did there.
Tracing confirmed.
Tracing confirmed. Yes. Okay, so this blew my mind. Right.
I had paper.
Well, that's what it looks like, but I actually printed on this.
There's not much on your mind right now, is there?
I guess not.
No. If that blew your mind.
Well, no. What blows my nice.
Well, I mean, a writer can't stand a blank piece of paper without writing, right?
But here, let me show you what blew my mind.
We're talking artwork here.
So it's an optical illusion, because what we see here is it doesn't look like anything until I put something on it.
It's magic.
It is, isn't it? And so it may not be clear to you there,
right.
but
it looks like the Shroud of Turin.
It's right, I guess. But what it is we've got Pitt down here. I blew up a page from a Ashcan of Pitt that I have, and I lightened it in order to print it out to save toner. But it's clear enough for me to kind of either pencil or ink and trace it to kind of get a feel for how like the way the lines work and everything else, to kind of develop a little bit of muscle memory with some of this stuff. So
does Fund My Comic have anything to do with it, or are you going to do a Fund My Comic Pit and beat Dale to the punch?
Fund My Comic have anything to do with what? No, that's just me.
Pit reading Fund My Comic.
No, I'm not. It's not him. It's not him reading it.
I tried.
That's just a page. That's just a page of.
If you're thinking about doing Justin a cover, come over to Momentum and do me one.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I do need the second mortgage.
Oh my gosh!
Well, maybe not.
Well,
no, my house paid for, so I might be able to get that Dell cover in a year or two.
All I can say about the Lepresti cover is that it's going to be the only one that he does for a long time. Because he was gracious enough to do that one for me, but it made him realize that he really needs to get to work on his own, stay steady as he goes on his own stuff.
Focused, right? I mean, when I interviewed Steve Rude, Hex Allen hit him up for a Nephilim Squadron cover, and I said, I told Steve, I said, oh, I think you'd like it. That's in your wheelhouse, kind of sci-fi, whatever, helmets, and different, kind of like Nexus. And he's like, I think I want to, thank you for the offer, but I think I want to kind of concentrate on my own IPs and properties and what I'm doing. And I understand that. I respect that,
Oh yeah, 100%.
But that's why I say, if you got an Aaron Lepresti That was a great pickup because he does stay busy. He doesn't need to do commissions, right?
No.
I mean, he does plenty of those draw streams and then sells that.
No, but I think
whatever he draws. So
and I'm nobody, but I mean he
well, you're somebody on this channel.
But yeah, I'm the guy.
You are the guy. You're the host.
But he did the cover. I just realized, yeah, I am. It's all me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me.
The host over here, folks.
I like this better. Yeah. This is kind of better.
Yeah,
this
that backs off. That's like pimples and blackheads and everything.
What was that? Oh, it's that. And then
I'm just speaking for myself.
That and then
there you go. You cut out the bed though. You cut out the bed when you.
Oh, this is our guest. You see that? You see all that? That's the dog that does that. This is the guest bedroom. So
blame it on the dog, Justin.
Well, nobody sleeps in that bed.
Yeah.
But
nobody takes a shower in that shower either.
Nice.
Everybody asked me about the shower.
I didn't even know there was a shower there.
That's a shower.
You could have kept that a secret.
That's a stand-up shower. No, everybody knows it except you, Justin.
Nice.
It's time travel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, thank you everyone for coming in here. This is funny. Shadow comes in here right at the end.
He's an ink slinger. Yeah. He loves that black and white stuff. So consider putting Chrome Dog in black and white.
No. What? No. Well, oh my gosh. It is. Go to Fund My Comic. Find the
That's right.
You can search it. It's okay. It will
now,
let you.
Is it still up on Indiegogo as well?
It is.
In demand. Okay, so you can find it on both sides.
Now, okay, hold on. You can find Chrome Dog on Indiegogo. However, the only versions you're going to find are the standard one and then the 2 Arrow bundles.
Okay. All right.
No other frills over there.
And you're going exclusively with Fund My Comic here pretty soon. Just as soon as you close that down, then you'll be exclusively over at Fund My Comic.
I mean, so the thing is, I'm in the place where, yes, I'm all in for Fund My Comic, but I also am respectful and understand that there are people who prefer to use other platforms.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of one of those. I'm in the mindset where go anywhere and everywhere. So, like, I'm not opposed to running a Kickstarter.
Oh wow.
But at the same time, I would probably. I really don't want to do crowdfunding everywhere. I would rather just fund this comic and put it. It's an Arrow comic, so all the proceeds of selling said comic would, get distributed amongst. Between myself and Randy, I'm assuming. I mean, I would get a percentage.
Oh, cute little doggy.
And then this is Penny.
I tried to get her up in my lap earlier, but I just couldn't do it. She's content where she's at.
She's a mixed American pit, and we think she's got Ridgeback in her.
Well, mixed dogs though have been smart dogs. Some of the best dogs I've ever had.
Oh yeah.
How old is?
She's almost she's almost 10 years old, I think.
Really? Okay, so she's about the age of Abby, who's 10 years old, 10 plus.
But yeah, no, so the thing is with Shadow down there, he says, well, we're waiting for what?
That's a line from
for you. Oh,
that's from Caddyshack.
Oh, okay.
Remember Ted Knight says, well, we're waiting.
Oh.
To Rodney Dangerfield, I think.
Oh, okay.
In the I don't know what he's waiting on either.
But the thing is,
lasagna probably.
I'm wanting to, the whole crowdfund thing. It just seems to me like it is this. If you let it, it becomes this endless cycle, and you go from one book to the next book to the next book. Like, I cannot see myself doing business that way. Like, I don't see that as a sustainable way of doing this. I would much rather. Justin was stalling on what? Oh, because we were supposed to end the show. Okay, bye. I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be funny? Just be like, click. I don't want to do that.
That's what I do on my show.
Yeah, well, you say goodnight, Gracie, and then click, or
Well,
whatever.
sometimes, unless
Okay.
I'm really in a hurry.
Um,
Then I get chided from it in the chat. You
But,
didn't even say keep collecting.
but yeah, so the thing is, going to Arrow, essentially you've got arrowcomics.store, which I'm gonna put in the chat right now.
Right. I
And
mean, I'm just getting a blank screen with topic lists. I don't know why it's just darkened out black. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they've come on. Usually they're on by now.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
know. YouTube's doing some strange stuff. I've got some stuff at the bottom that I've never had.
But maybe. Yeah, so but the thing is, going on to being a part of a publisher, the idea is to get the comic in stores.
Yeah.
Not perpetually going on and trying to do this.
And you're a big proponent about that because you put like 4 spinner racks at local stores. That's awesome.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And
that's why now are you going to make your own barcodes? Because I talked to Mike Sunday and he said, "Oh, I can make you barcodes." And he did a Q code for me already.
Yeah, we have barcodes associated with our Luke set that up, so we can actually sell Arrow Comics on Amazon.
Did you make your own, or did you like buy a bundle? Because a lot of people buy bundles, and it's like they're unaware. If you have the knowledge, you can make your own.
As far as I know, it's
a lot cheaper.
It's that's a Luke question.
Okay.
But
now, are you running on his? I mean, because y'all all run on the same StreamYard, right? I was invited to, but I just re-upped for another month.
No, he asked me, and I politely declined for now, because I feel like just I'm gonna go my own way, at least for now, which the group is. There's been a little bit of stuff happening amongst some of the group, so I'm kind of like, I guess I'm being a little wise, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I didn't know if there was an advantage to that or not.
Well, sure. I mean, I would imagine there's an advantage. I mean, one, you get to share the benefits of having the StreamYard.
Yeah, I didn't know how that would work, though. I mean, I know he simulcast, and that's a big thing.
Yeah, from what I understand, they do. That you don't really stream over top of each other. It's a separate instance, but yet you're still able to use the same account, and everyone gets access to the benefits thereof. I just, for me, budgetary wise, I mean, I feel like I'm running pretty close to the margins at the moment. Matter of fact, that's a good way for me to say, like, tomorrow I'm going to be running my first ever real attempt at doing a Whatnot auction stream tomorrow night. So hopefully I'll be able to sell several comics and or collectibles, and then kind of make that do that for a while, and then that's going to help go all those funds that I get from that are going to go into Chrome Dog and the tchotchkes and all the little things. I mean, that's basically what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to just fund it. I mean, I'm trying to keep funding. Never stop funding. Mm-hmm. What I'm understanding. I mean, on the one hand, I think part of it is I've been on these different shows, and I've
Right.
pitched a book, and I don't know if it's my pitch is bad, or I'm talking to the same people every time, maybe, and the backers who were going to back me, they have already backed me.
Right.
So it's almost like, preaching to the choir, so to speak. And so I haven't picked up any new backers on any of the shows that I've been on lately. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, and until I have something new, I don't expect people to sit up and take notice. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to fund myself by other means while I'm waiting for pages. I mean, that's because that's all I got.
Right.
I got to add value where I can, and to me, going on stream doesn't seem to be adding much value.
But now you're working on Chrome Dog
Outside of down.
2. You're working on Chrome Dog 2?
No.
You're not. What's your next project?
Well, when you say next project,
Well, I mean, you were saying you mentioned the we need to get into the comic shops,
right.
and I don't want to just crowdfund the same book perpetually or one
Well, no.
after the other. So
Right.
what was your plan?
So my plan is to fund this book, get it into stores, and then the sales that would generate from different stores would go towards funding Chrome Dog number 2.
Okay.
Ultimately, and if I do a crowdfund, it's only for the print run. So like the sales will generate enough revenue to be able to produce the book. Because that's where I'm at. I'm looking at production costs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Production costs need to be done. The book needs to be ready, and all crowdfunding, in my opinion, it should just be for the print run. And the more people that get, the more I see it as being a snowball effect.
Jump on board.
And the more readers you get, the
Mm-hmm.
the larger people that are going to stay with you. There's going to be people that don't want it because it's not really their thing, right? But but there are those that are going to stay with you, and then it just builds.
I'm totally
itself.
with you on that.
But I really like, to me, I don't think stuff like constantly shilling your books on stream.
right.
I don't think that's sustainable. I really don't. I don't
It's
think
it's not. It's like preaching to the choir. After a while, you have to find out creative ways to expand your base, and that's getting it in people's more hands. And like you said, maybe definitely the comic book, your local comic book shop is an option.
well, and when
And
when
if
you
you
say
have
when you
if you
say
have
my
a
local, I mean it's all local. Like the whole notion is
yeah
riding this indie wave. I mean, they're leaving Marvel and DC, and they're looking around. They're like, hey, is there anything else I could be buying? And so just imagine if they're looking around and they're like, oh, what's this? And they see Chrome Dog, and they're like, oh, dang. And then they go to crack it open. They're like, oh my gosh, this reminds me so much of X, Y, and Z.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
like that's the word of mouth. I mean, that's how Ninja Turtles started.
yeah
You know, it just
word of
took
mouth is
that one book.
definitely
Hmm.
Ninja Turtles is definitely lightning in a bottle. It's hard to capture that, but
Well,
did take them a while
hmm
to build that up, and it was, basically when they started really, they would sell out the first one, the second one, the third one. It was popular within comics ranks, but that's all it knew. And then you have to go to the next level. When you think you've reached the top, you have to lift the lid and go further. Kind of
right.
like the McDonald's brothers. They had so many restaurants out West Coast, right?
Yep.
And that's when they were still having, back in the 40s, when they had real silverware and real plates
Yeah. Yeah.
for their. And then Koch came in the early 50s
Yeah.
and made it a worldwide franchise, basically, over time.
Yeah. Eventually. Yeah.
It's a process. I mean, but the barcode is key if you want to get it into
Exactly.
other retail places.
And we will have a barcode. I mean, that's the trade dress has. I mean, being with Arrow, I mean, it comes with it. We're every book that's in the Arrow catalog outside of the variants, right? So the Lepresti cover, it will not have a barcode. Why? Because it will be a specific. It is unique to the crowdfunding campaign, and
Mhm.
once I'm gonna do a print run on it. I'll have a few extra copies, but that's it. I'm not, we're not pushing play on print again. It's
Mhm.
when those are, you want to talk about rare, there's your rarity.
Yeah.
You better get it while you can in the crowdfund, because and you bet, if you don't, catch me at a show and I may have a copy or two, and then that's it. I mean, that's where we are. And if you want to read Chrome Dog, well, here's the mass produced floppy. And then eventually, once I get done with Chrome Dog number 3, I'll have a mass produced trade paperback at that point, and it'll all just be one succinct
Now
volume of
Arrow's
96 pages.
distributing that, so you're not fulfilling it, right?
No, I
So,
am. No, I am.
oh, you are
So
fulfilling.
Arrow Comics, that's what kind of sets us apart. Like, we're a working publisher. I mean, each one of us, we still retain the rights to our IPs, and we kind of collectively help each other out. So fulfillment essentially means, as far as I understand, is we're me, Luke, and Randy are gonna, like, kind of, we're going to converge there at Luke's house, and we're going to fulfill out of his house when it comes time
Oh,
for
wow.
Chrome Dog fulfillment.
Okay.
But that's just fulfillment of the campaign. So when it comes to distribution, Arrow, whatever Randy decides as far as, like, getting, distribution in this store or that store, those are things that we're kind of in talks with, trying to get. It'd be really cool
The
to be able to.
criminal always returns to the crime scene.
Right, see what I'm saying? That's why we have that blanket on there, so that it doesn't, it doesn't
Protects.
But she
Yeah.
still gets up under there, and so, whatever.
Yeah. My dog
Hey,
sleeps under the covers too.
the main thing is, she doesn't get on our bed. She's not allowed on our bed, and she
Oh.
knows
Yeah.
she's not. This bed is fine. She can have that bed. Because we hardly ever have any guests. It's a spare bed that we have.
Well, every time they come over, it's dog hair everywhere. They don't lay on
Well,
Maybe
right,
maybe that's a deterrent. Just
yeah, there you
throwing
go.
it out there.
There you go. Well, I guess that'll do it for a Tuesday night show.
Hey, I think we did a good one.
I think so too, and I appreciate you coming by, Rex.
I appreciate you having me.
I guess I'll do the obligatory. Where can people find you? How do we?
Under Devil Flyer on Instagram, on YouTube, daily. Under Devil Flyer Momentum. Do a daily show, the 4:00 Shadow, 4:00 Central, 5 Eastern. On Instagram, like I said, and YouTube, or Twitter, rather. Of course, I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, always.
So, yeah, that's where you can find me. And, got my black and white Ashcan up on Indiegogo, and you can become a charter member still and buy a copy. And charter members are probably going to have an exclusive secret tier on Devil Flyer #1 and some other perks. You'll get your cards here soon. As soon as I get them designed up and made up, I'll send out charter member. So if you've been comped a copy or you bought a copy, that'll be the only way you can get that secret tier when Devil Flyer #1 launches. That's my little exclusivity.
All right, so we're gonna
Incentive.
throw you a little link in here.
Okay.
That way people can know where to click it. Know where to click it. Got to grab it before Indiegogo does some sort of shenanigans.
Before I take it down, right? I mean, it's been up for a while, and
I love that.
Only got a few copies left.
I love the Acme bomb in the sea for momentum.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do a little work with that and light the fuse and do a little different, But
Neat.
Yeah, for the Ashcan, it worked.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I've been Justin Sweet, Justin K. Sweet, and
Too sweet for me.
Also known as J Dog. From I've been called J Dog, yeah. So until next time. enjoy our wild America.
And keep collecting.
Let's do that.